just I I don't know. I don't know. Oh, already missed it though.
That's two.
Hey, what did Juju say about them?
We're recording, by the way.
The Browns is the Browns.
What, you talking about Juju Smith-Schuster?
Yeah, that guy that plays in Kansas City now, after turning down like a lot of money to go to Baltimore the year before and then stayed in Pittsburgh just to leave them anyways. That guy.
Maybe that's a shot at Lamar Jackson.
I don't blame Lamar for what happened to them on Sunday.
I mean, I don't either.
I didn't even watch the game. I just know the stats, and so that sounded a lot like the defense had some issues.
He scored 38 points. It's never your fault.
That and I don't know, Tua threw for 400 yards and 6 touchdowns. I mean, come on. And I get it. He's got new toys, and they're nice toys too at that. But like, should Tua Tagovailoa, based on what we've seen in the NFL prior to that game, should he ever throw on the road? Mind you, should he ever throw for 400 yards and 6 touchdowns in a game? Like, will he ever do that again?
Yeah, if he's playing in Tuscaloosa, he's going to Oxford.
Okay. That's all right to me, too.
You know, the worst part, man, is not to get too deep into our recaps, but I think that that defensive coordinator of theirs, Mike McDonald, I think is his name.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, what are you calling? And defenders, what are you doing that lets Tyreek Hill get wide, slap dick open? I get it, he's fast. Maybe you just want to go too high safeties and make Tua take the cheese because you're trying to, run out the clock.
Right.
But, in this episode, we're going to talk more basketball than we plan to talk at this point in the year. How are you doing, Parlay Pete?
We're doing fantastic. We've made it through the week. Friday's tomorrow. Another week of football ahead of us. I can't complain.
Yeah, me neither. It's bro, I am ready for the weekend. By the weekend, I mean tomorrow, because tomorrow's like my day off. Work a half day at work, come home, relax. No podcasting to do, no sports to watch. I can kind of just.
You weren't coming back up here this weekend, right?
No, next weekend.
Okay. Right, for so we can see the Browns.
Yes, the Browns.
How does the NFL fuck the Falcons twice so early in the year? Why do we get 2 teams coming off Thursday night games that early?
Because we're the Falcons and no one loves us.
But it's almost like they wanted to set us up to lose.
Maybe they did. Maybe they want us to get Bryce Young and CJ Stroud.
You've had 2 teams in the first 4 weeks that got 10-day rest to play you. Like, I don't know. But
you know what? While we're here, let's go ahead and hit Falcons first before we do our basketball talk.
You got to hit the cue, though.
So I left the soundboard.
Oh.
So that's why I'm using this microphone. Like I have to go I'm using different equipment right now. And I ordered a new one, a smaller one that I was going to use it for my traveling. And it wasn't working. So just had to go old school to the old USB microphone. And yeah, we have no ad-libs. We are all here to do what Falcons do.
Ooh, rise up.
Rise up.
Falcons do, right, rise up.
Yeah, whatever. So Falcons first. They did to us what. You know what? I just think we're better than we thought we are.
I think so too. I think that bad first half for sure. There's no doubt about that. They played bad in the first half. But you know what? A typical bad Falcons team lays down.
Yeah.
They did. And not only did they attempt to come back, they actually had a chance to win it. They really could have won that game. And of course, I was at the game. And first of all, that stadium's amazing.
Let's talk about the stadium.
SoFi Stadium is crazy. It's going to be really hard for anyone to beat that for a minute. I don't know who the next stadium is, who's in line to get one. I know the Bills are getting one. but like that's going to be outside still. It's just going to be newer. They're not going to be able to top it. I can't think really any team right now, but I think across sports, fuck football, we could throw basketball and baseball in it too. I really don't think that there's going to be a stadium that comes close to it. That is, and now I tell you what, when the World Cup comes to North America hosting as the World Cup host, yeah, I see exactly why they wanted the final there, and it deserves to be there. That stadium is everything.
So does it make you kind of look at Arthur and go, "Hey, dude, what'd you do with our $1 billion?"
I think our stadium is still top 3, and that's only because now I've got to go to all the new ones. I've been to every stadium that's been built in the last 10 years. I've been to.
So that's SoFi, that's Allegiant. You been to Jerry World?
Yeah, multiple times.
Yes,
right. Been to Arizona, where the Super Bowl is this year. I've been to New York. You know, they had the Super Bowl there not that long ago, but that stadium was relatively new at one point.
MetLife.
Yeah, I've been to Minnesota. Theirs is new. Theirs is nice, but
yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. That's why they had that terrible Super Bowl up there.
Yeah. Oh God, why do they got the backup running back toting the rock though?
I mean, he's running it nice.
Yeah, but let me tell you what, ball security is job security, and so you know that nigga's not about to be running the ball no more. But fantastic stadium, seriously. It whips Mercedes-Benz pretty much on all levels.
Okay.
But I think the Falcons, in terms of like seats, like our seats, I think our seats are better than like Allegiant's. Not LA's, but better than the Vegas one. I think our seats are better, and that's just my opinion. Their club is better, like have their bar layout and stuff. That shit's amazing. But LA cooks everybody. Like it really isn't close.
Okay, so let's look at the game. Younghoe Koo missed the field goal early.
Mm-hmm.
Hurt something
he doesn't do.
I think we did a pretty good job on Cooper Kupp. I know he had 2 touchdowns, but 10 receptions, low 100 yards. But I think AJ Terrell's reading his press clippings, man. He has had a rough 2 weeks.
I think that what it is a lot of people may have thought he was overrated to begin with because a lot of people just weren't throwing at him. And he doesn't follow people. He's a guy that sits on the side of the ball too.
Well, I mean, that's the scheme. That's not necessarily the player. You know, we run a lot of zone concepts in our defense. So,
all in all, you know, because we might as well give him a grade. All in all, I thought that because of the second half. You know, God damn it, 2 straight weeks of just the tale of 2 halves from a team. Some things as the season goes on, some of the same old things continue to just haunt us, and that's what bothers me more than anything. It's the same stuff, but it looks better. Like it looks better. Like, you know, when the Falcons, you know, the Matt Ryan era, when they were doing this stretch of the last few years when we haven't been good. When they did it, it was almost in a weird way expected. For whatever reason, it just was expected. You kind of expected them to do it. After a minute, because it just started to become so repetitive, you just expected them to do it. It was just like, oh, man, here we go. You got a 16-point lead. They score a touchdown. Now it's a 10-point game. Now, whether they get this 2-point conversion or not, this team has a chance to win the game because now it's that much closer. Like why didn't we step on them? With this team, it just kind of is you're coming in with no expectation, and they're just surprising you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the what's it looking like over there? Ain't nothing over here. And then it's like 3 girls there, and you hit it off with the one of the 3, and y'all end up recording like all night. And you go,
oh. This wasn't even a bad night.
Yeah.
But with those Falcons, it was look at Mitch.
Okay, Mitch. Pickens out there blocking?
I think his anytime touchdown was like plus 1,100.
Really?
Not a bad candidate considering he does run the ball.
Yeah, he does. A lot. I mean, not a lot, but
enough.
Enough, yeah. Who was it?
Enough to where Let's see. Was he short? Oh, he put his hand down. He is short. It looked like his left knee was down too. I can't tell. Was the left knee down though? The ball definitely crosses the plane.
I can't tell. That's close.
I don't think it's enough to overturn it.
I don't think it's enough to overturn it either, especially because it's the Browns they're playing against. But so Kyle Pitts still hasn't showed up this season. And when asked about it, Arthur Smith says, this isn't fantasy football. We're trying to win games. And so is Kyle Pitts not getting open? Is he not separating? Is Marcus Mariota not seeing him? Or is Kyle Pitts putting a little email around the organization?
Right. You want to know what I think? I think that Pitts has it's been unfortunate kind of the matchups he's probably got to face really over the past few weeks. If you realize on that last play when Jalen Ramsey caught the pick, he was actually on Kyle Pitts and he went and made a play on the ball. That's how he got the pick. He left Kyle Pitts. That's who he was guarding on that play. I think that ultimately give the guy a little break too. These first two teams that we faced were two of the top 5 defenses in the NFL last year. I mean, it's not like we're played against, at least based on 2021-22 season, these aren't slouch defenses either. And he's the focal point of the offense, and I think everybody knew that he would be. So, of course, there's already emphasis on him coming into every game. Now people are going to have to worry about Drake London.
I like Drake.
Drake London's looked good. He has. He's looked good, and he seems like he's going to be consistent, which is what I probably like most about him. This doesn't seem like he's a guy that'll have like a couple of good games. No, this seems like his lot in life. He'll be a guy that's going to give you 5-6 balls, 70. I mean, he's going to have his 100-yard game, but like 70 to 80 a game and maybe a touch. Like that seems like it's going to be his lot in life.
And it's not just these fluke big plays. It's, 10 and in. Catching the hole,
Catches it in the hole and then gets you 7 yak afterwards.
Right.
Goes down, doesn't, take a nasty like fall or be stupid, like gets out of bounds.
Yeah, I'm just shocked at the level of competence that we're playing with. I'm shocked at the fight that we had after, oh my God, everyone posting, oh, they're down 28-3. What is this? Nothing. It means absolutely nothing. They're down by
I was at the bar in the club down there, and there was a guy that was sitting there, and he was looking at me, and he kept pointing. He pointed at the scoreboard when it was 27-3, and they were about to kick the extra point. And I said, "Yeah, man, I get it." I was like, "That's a good one. It's a good one." And then I said, "You want to know what's going to be even funnier?" I said, "We'll end up fucking coming back and winning this game." Now, obviously, I didn't believe it. I was about on my 7th or 8th double before halftime. So I was just, at that point, I'm just having a good time. I was fucking with them anyways. I wasn't being like, I'm a friendly Falcon fan.
Yeah. Why is Deshaun Watson on my TV right now?
Maybe because it's a therapeutic Thursday and it's massage time. I don't know, but
he's not playing today. The
question is, are they going to show that graphic every week?
Oh, definitely. They're definitely going to show the graphic every week. They should have followed it up with the boner fans from Sunday. But anyways, you're not going to Seattle, are you?
No. I would have, honestly, if it wasn't a back-to-back. I just can't do this West Coast thing. I've been out there like 3 times over the last 5 weeks.
Oh, shit, yeah, because you had the Vegas trip, the Temecula trip.
Business trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Look, I love the West Coast, and I love Seattle, but I need a week off. And plus, I'm going to Tampa week 5 when we play in Tampa, so that'll be my next trip.
Tampa, great city.
Can't wait. I've never been.
I owe you some Airbnbs I've been looking at too, by the way.
Okay, we can talk about that afterwards.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Falcons first, it's over. They're still giving us blue balls, but it's a different kind of blue balls, right?
It's a.
You know what? It's not blue balls. It's making out and not getting on after the night, but you didn't plan on even being around any women that night. So you still kind of won because you still got to lock a little lips and tickle a little pink.
Well, yeah, and then a little rub and tug.
Yeah.
You got no action, but you know what? Soon enough, you're gonna get that ass. You're gonna get it. One day you're gonna get it.
You went to get a massage and then she offered you the happy ending. It's not sex.
but she didn't let you bust either. So
semen retention.
She didn't let you bust.
Anyways, we do not support
Deshaun Watson or any of his endeavors for that matter.
No, we just are two podcasters making jokes.
In light of another man's situation, but
you know what?
That's his life. He shouldn't be famous if he doesn't want to be talked about.
Right. He got 230 guaranteed. Do you think he cares what we have to say?
No. He's rich.
I'm rich, bitch.
Yeah, he's fucking rich. I mean,
before I put this up, let me make sure I spelled Ime Udoka's name right because it's not an easy one.
Who? Ime Udoka?
Ime Udoka. Yeah, so let's talk a little Ime Udoka. So I wake up this morning and I open up the old cellular device and I see Boston Celtics coach Ime Udoka facing possible suspension for like violation of team rules. Okay, what the hell did he do? That's kind of vague,
right?
And weird. And by the time I get up and get going, it's for having sex with an executive on the team, 100% consensual sexual relationship. So you go, all right, I understand that this is probably a rule. I don't believe that it's a rule that's enforced. But it's a rule, so who did he piss off?
Right.
Did it have something to him and Brad beefing because maybe he wanted to trade for KD? I mean, he did coach in Brooklyn before he came to the Celtics, and it's like, hey, dude, Jalen is not KD. Make the damn trade. So, I'm thinking, did that start something? And then I'm working, and I don't have service at work, so you don't get to see a lot of the speculative stuff. Like I get everything in mass, which is why I collect a lot of fines in the locker room when I'm at work because when I see stuff, I send it. And then you see he may resign because they're talking about suspending for the entirety of the year. Like, hold on, this is not adding up. He's having a consensual relationship with somebody who works in the organization. He just got y'all over the hump finally. And y'all want to suspend him for the whole year for that? And it got leaked to the media?
Someone's got it out for this brother.
Yeah. And this is Boston. We know how y'all feel about black people. This ain't looking right. And then I see some internet reporting that who knows if it's true, but it said that he was having affairs with two women in the who worked in the front office, and one of those women her husband also worked for the organization. And you go, okay, now it's starting to make sense. We got some hating going on between the two women. Husband finally finds out about it. And he's like, let's put this nigga in the grease and fry him.
Now, hold on. Now, you're saying that they said the lady whom it is, husband works in the organization.
I saw that it was two women in the organization. And
is that what you took from that locker room post, or was this actually from like Shams?
No. This is that's why I said internet reporting told me this. Internet reporting, because there's not.
I know at this point, why would Shams even talk anymore about it? He already broke. It doesn't matter if it was two women, right? But I need a blue check to do it, and not that makes it true either. But I need a blue check to tell me this.
It makes you feel more comfortable.
Or I need somebody to be on what's Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes.
All the smoke.
Yeah, I need somebody on there to say this.
Or but you saw Richard Jefferson's tweet though, right? I mean, it was in a group. Because There's no reason why. Huh?
I sent that one actually, but yes, long story. Yes, at the end of the day, it is kind of like there's more to this than that.
Yeah.
But the question is, would it really have been two people? Was he really begging two different? Because they said staffer. So I don't. That didn't mean front office. It didn't mean custodian. It didn't mean a staffer's wife.
Right.
You know, and they already identified who the woman was just because she was the only female lady staffer, cis woman. Am I getting this stuff right? I don't want to get canceled.
You're asking the wrong person, man.
Okay, cis women staffer.
Cis women means like born with a vagina, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So cis women and trans women.
Yes.
So man and woman.
I saw you change the theme of the group to non-binary, and I
forgot you got non-binary.
It was really an accident, but
yeah, we got cis, trans, non-binary. What about the hermaphrodites? Where do they fall into this?
At this point, just don't say anything anymore. That's what I'm getting at with this world that we live in.
Hey, you know what? Whatever your pronoun is, you just tell me when you meet me, and I'll just call you by your first name, and so I won't ever fuck it up. But yeah, so let's speculate. You think Brad wants his job back because the top assistant's gone? You're giving him a year suspension. I feel like you get 15 games in. You're 6-9. Tatum is leaking stuff to Shams. Jaylen Brown is just not looking himself. Malcolm Brogdon's on the IR already. And it's like, hey, Brad, you got to pull a Pat Riley. You got to come out of the front office, coach him up. Or am I just crazy for thinking this may be a conspiracy because Brad just wants his team back?
Well, they already said who would be coaching the team, and it was an assistant. So unless Brad coaches, which ownership, that's their first thing, and is like, well, Brad, do you think you could just do one more year while we wait? But then it came out too that Ime was thinking about resigning, which I'm going to be honest with you.
He's not, though. Chris Haynes came back and said he's not going to resign.
But I could see why he even would have thought about it. More so because if he cares for Nia and he's got personal issues and he needs to take care of it, maybe that is his therapy. Nobody knows how people deal with stuff. But, like, it would make sense on that level that he wants to take a step back and focus on what it is he's doing. And the thing is that once he's ready to coach again, he'll get a job. Like, he'll get offered a job. So, like, he's not going to have to worry about that. You won 50 games as a rookie head coach and went to the NBA Finals. Yeah. Now, the thing is, you won't get as good a job as, the Celtics job, but more than likely, Darvin Ham's not going to get fired in the next year. Sam Presti might be looking to fire his coach, though, and they might have the number one pick. Or Pop will retire, and you're a former Spur. Maybe you're the right guy to replace Pop. I mean, the question is, though, would you want to live in San Antonio? We know how Charles Barkley feels about the women there.
Well, Ime, he doesn't have to worry about the women there as long as they got good staffers.
Good staffers, or he can pack things up with Nia, and maybe Nia. I mean, they got a child together. Not that don't mean shit, but like, you know what I mean,
bro. And that was
so well. But keep going.
And the internet is gonna internet, and some of the stuff I was seeing, the memes. It's like, okay, Black Twitter, y'all are having fun with this, but y'all sound real stupid right now.
Mm-hmm.
He really fumbled the bag. He lost the finals. He gets suspended for a year, and he cheated on Nia Long.
And he's rich as fuck.
It's like, well, did he cheat on Nia Long? Like, what's the status of their relationship?
You know what's funny? They're not even married. They've been in a long ass non-marriage relationship.
Yeah, a multi-year engagement with a kid and all of that stuff. And you go, well, maybe they have an agreement. And I can imagine Nia doesn't spend as much time in Boston as you all think she does. She flies over the game.
There's that, and then ultimately, it's not a boys will be boys and this is what men do, but like more so along the lines of
rest of the NBA.
If he's not married and she's not there like that, and he's already a guy that played in the NBA, and I know those people. I know players have these agreements with their wives, man. They're like,
and I'm sure you've heard stories because you know people who play in the league.
Mm-hmm. I've got to see it. I couldn't tell you who's married that I've seen because I just don't know who's married.
Right.
But I've got to see NBA players in action in a club. So like, yeah, these alt man.
Right. Yeah, right. And I've heard stories straight from horse's mouth. I've not seen anything, but I've heard stories. And some of the stories are about you name it. Like it's so to act like this is not a part of that lifestyle. Like I was listening to Bill Simmons talk about it today before we recorded. And he tried to almost Me Too Ime. And he was talking, what we've learned the last, 5-10 years, you would think people would be smarter about this and not make those types of mistakes. And what happens when he gets back in front of that team? Could he lead this team? I go, they don't care about that. They probably knew.
Let me tell you something. And if the Celtics don't end up, if they didn't suspend him, right? Like, I mean, I think, well, first of all, what do you think of the year-long suspension? Don't you think that's a little overkill?
Bro, Robert Sarver got suspended a year for being a filthy, disgusting racist who actually had control over what happens in the organization as far as hiring goes, players that get paid and stuff like that. He got suspended for a year and got fined $10 million. If Ime gets suspended for a year, he's also not getting paid for a year.
That's true, but all that, and I get it. It was somebody in the organization, and they said,
"No, it's stupid. That's bullshit.
No PDA amongst coworkers."
Yo, fine him $500.
What probably wasn't PDA, but no relationships.
Fine him $500,000, and say if you do this again, we will fire you. We will fire you for violation of your contract, and you would not get a buyout. We won't pay you out. Because I'm sure there's a clause in his contract that says he has to be, he has to uphold certain rules that the team has, So it's like, hey, dude, we're going to fine you $500,000. We're not going to talk about this again. And if you do this shit again, you're fired.
Well, the thing is, too, he's in a position of leadership, right? Being the coach, you're leader of the team, at least. Like,
yeah.
So I think maybe it obviously it sends a message. Not that, because what could I guess an NBA player, like if Jason Tatum was fucking the same staffer, would he get suspended a year? No,
we wouldn't know about it,
and he wouldn't get suspended a year. They wouldn't do that.
Brad,
tell me I'm wrong. They wouldn't suspend Jason Tatum. If
nothing would happen to Jason Tatum. It would be a non-story, or
yeah, you're right. It would never come out.
Or you know what? She may get relocated to Utah because Danny, we need a favor. Y'all have worked together already. We can't fire her for this.
Now, did you bring Utah up because are you saying that Utah is like it's a wasteland now?
No,
or just because of the connection with Danny.
The connection with Danny Ainge. Just like, hey, Danny, we need you to give this job with this salary. Come on, Danny. Come on.
Kevin you know what's so funny? Kevin McHale and Larry Bird no longer work in basketball. And obviously we've got to see how the favors work with Danny certainly with Kevin McHale.
I mean, he gift wrapped him. He gift wrapped it Kevin Garnett. Completely off topic from it, and I don't want to get too far into it, but why do you think Larry Bird just stopped doing basketball, period? When he was good at what he did. He was actually a good coach. Good executive.
And he was a good executive. He put together that Pacers team, and he was the coach of the one that did go to the finals.
Probably stress. Probably tired of dealing with the owners and the bullshit. And he's just like, you know what? I'm over this. I'm Larry Bird. I want to go back to French Lick and lick on some French. I don't know.
Yeah. Just an interesting.
Yeah, no, it is. I think because he's not Danny Ainge, right? Danny Ainge was a role player. Danny Ainge probably feels like he has something to prove. Larry Bird, 3-time MVP, three-time champion, all 50th greatest players, 75 greatest players. What does he have to prove? He doesn't have like what was it? Steve Nash. I was listening to um, Bill Simmons talk about Steve Nash, and he and Logan Murdoch were like, well, "Why do you think Steve is still coaching? Like, why was he dealing with this shit? Like, because he hasn't won a ring. Like, there's still that chase there for him. He can't do it as a player, but he can do it as a coach because as that consultant ring he got from Golden State, you think he wears that thing?
I actually do. 1 second.
Well, let me tell you what. If Steve Nash is wearing his ring as a consultant from Golden State, then you earned it. But the roster was already in place, and they had Kevin Durant. So corny. But nonetheless, I just think Larry doesn't have anything to prove, and Danny has something to prove because Danny wasn't a player that anybody cared about. He did have a cameo in Space Jam, though.
Well, there's that, and he did it in Boston too.
Yeah,
and that being probably the first thing that gave him even more joy out of it, because he's like, not only because think about it, he was a role player, but he was a star.
Yeah. He was a household name as a role player. Scrappy Danny Ainge.
Yeah. We finally got ourselves a good Thursday night game. I guess last week's game was good too, but I like this match. Bengals, Dolphins. What do you think?
Let's see what Tua can do. What can Tua do? I think it's going to be a good game. Well, maybe if the Bengals are good. I don't know if they're good.
Well, they should win this week, and they should cover, which I don't want to give away the picks too early, but they should win, and they should cover. And then, of course, Miami's got their test of the week. They get, Buffalo in Miami. So we're honestly going to see how for real they are. If they can keep that thing within a touchdown, we got to take them serious.
Yeah. Hey, serious. Before we close this Ime thing out, right? Can we have a brief conversation on the whole, I can't believe he cheated on Nia Long. Like, once you get Nia Long, you should just be totally happy with your partner and everything is perfect now. Can we have a honest...
Let's touch it. Honestly touch it.
Like, let's have an honest man conversation about it. For one, I can't speak for anyone else, and I can hardly really speak for myself here because I don't have much experience in the whole cheating realm, right? But I do have a man's mind, and you see stuff, you think about stuff, and I want to start with just because a woman is beautiful and successful does not mean she can't get cheated on. And also, if you're somebody who's engaged to Nia Long in a serious relationship, and not even just Nia Long, like just a beautiful woman that people are after, highly sought after woman. This is going to sound bad, but male ego is, I got her, I can get her again.
Right.
And not maybe her, but a her. And a lot of women don't help this thing because when you see a man with a woman like a her, I want to know what's up with him. What are you doing to get her? I want to know what that is. So just this idea that this man could cheat on like your childhood crush, like everyone's childhood crush, from Fresh Prince. If you can't see beyond like reality with that, like he's not in awe of her. You can't be a Nia Long fan and pull a Nia Long.
Exactly. I'm sure he approached her too, but obviously, she liked him as well. And I mean, that's why they got a child, and that's why they had a relationship that went on that's went on for over, basically because their son is like 10, I think, or 11. So obviously over a decade worth of a relationship. But the key thing in all this is too, everybody's got to know their own situation. And, maybe there are women out here that don't believe that their man will cheat on them. Like there are men out here that won't do it, you being one of them. But like at the same time, to think that just because it's Nia Long, she's an exception to that is completely false. And I mean, we kind of brought this up. Even I brought it up earlier. I said, didn't Beyonce make a whole album about Jay-Z cheating on her? And that's Beyonce, correct?
Yeah, like that's Beyonce. Like
that's the chick that every fucking chick worships. It seems like, right? Like,
there's nothing
wrong with her. She's a good singer. She's a good mama. She probably can cook. She can do. She's perfect, and she got cheated on. So I do think that, especially, but these are also the typewriting warriors that are putting this stuff out there. Like anyone that actually lives in reality knows that you're shocked to see the news in a sense of the news itself being put out. You were more shocked that it was put out than you were what actually happened.
Yeah. And I feel like that was some smear campaigning type stuff by somebody inside the Celtics building. But the fact that it happened, like, dude, he's rich.
He's on the road half the year.
He's on the road.
He's young enough, and he looks young enough to still, when he goes out, it's obvious he's the coach of the team, but like, Ume Joke is like 6'8", 6'7", so he stands out whenever he goes anywhere. They're like, man, did you play in the NBA? Even if somebody doesn't know, like, he's the head coach of the Boston Celtics. Did you play in the NBA?
No, I coached the Celtics. I mean, I did, but yeah, I coached the Celtics.
You're that like, and then he's Nigerian. I'm not saying that means anything, but he's Nigerian too.
There can be assumptions made.
There can be, and so I think that anyone to think that you missed this catch, by the way. I think this is it. No, that's not. You missed the catch.
Yeah, they already showed it in the replay.
Yeah, it's crazy. George Pickens, but yeah, but
it's people who don't live in reality, or they're just trying to say something for clout. Like, oh, he fumbled the bag. Did he really fumble the bag? Y'all don't even know if they broke up. She might be mad that it hit the headlines, not that it happened. Like, hey, come on now. You know how we do business. We ain't Will and Jada over here.
Yeah, and so and then, but like we said, and we can close out on it, but ultimately they weren't married. Yeah, it sounds like they were in a committed relationship, soulmates, if you will. Some people like to prefer that term, but they weren't married. They're not legally bound. When he files his taxes from those fat ass checks the Celtics gave him, you know what he has to file as?
Single.
So,
yeah,
I guess that's a nice little period point, right?
Yeah. Let's talk about Robert Sarver real quick. We kind of talked about this privately in the group. I didn't think that he was going to sell. I didn't think that the pressure was going to mount on him like it has. But apparently, and what we've seen is Adam Silver put out his punishment because he had to do something, but he couldn't do what woke Instagram wanted him to do. Okay, he can't make the guy sell a team. So he punishes him for a year, fines him $10 million. But then LeBron comes out and says something. Chris Paul, who's on his team, comes out and says something. You got Draymond Green, who's saying, I want them to put it to the vote so we can see where these owners stand. Obviously, that wasn't going to happen because them owners are like, hey, bro, motherfucker, you selling. Because we don't want no votes because you ain't going to scorch earth us.
Well, more importantly, they'd be happy if he sold. It would show that NBA teams are worth more than what Forbes fucking puts out every year. So it makes them look even better anyway. They're like, go ahead, sell the team.
And the thing is,
matter of fact, we are going to force you to sell the team. And then Adam Silver kind of is looking around. He's just like, every court of public opinion is like, all right, Adam Silver, you're 1-1.
Which is so stupid because He didn't influence what happened with either. He didn't force.
You you want to know what was worse about the Robert Sarver one was more of hearsay. There's no recordings of him saying it, right?
No.
There's actual recordings of fucking Donald Sterling like talking to V. Stiviano, like saying derogatory things about the team and black people
Magic
as a
Johnson.
whole. So like there was like firm evidence on him to like do that, especially if that's like in the bylaws of the NBA.
There's also firm evidence on his practices as a slumlord in the Southern California area. Donald Sterling made it very clear who.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, by the way, but yeah, there's definitely there was that too. He has a track record, right? He had a track record leading up to that video or that recording coming out. And who knows? Maybe TMZ's waiting to drop that bombshell. Who knows? You know, they might have something. But even there's a guy. Matter of fact, gosh, I forgot his name already. He actually used to be Georgia's kicker. Wasn't Blair, or it may have been Blair. Do you remember number 99 for the Dogs? He was a kicker for Georgia. He was like an All-American kicker at Georgia.
I remember him, but I don't remember his name.
So he worked in the Arizona media, but he was on 92.9 today, and they were talking about it. And basically, he said, working in the Phoenix media, he said like that basically nobody ever had anything good to say about this dude.
Well, no, and he was a bad owner too. He didn't spend money; he was cheap.
He gave Chris Paul that bag.
Finally,
he's paying everybody there.
James Jones as his GM, but think about what happened with the Steve Nash Suns. They broke them up because Joe Johnson was wanting like 10 million extra, and then and he wouldn't get it, and then the Hawks
gave it to him, gave him more than that.
The Hawks maxed him out. He wasn't asking for a max. So Robert Sarver needed to be out of the NBA because he was just bad. He was just bad at running a team.
That deal still worked out. They got Boris Diaw in it.
Boris Diaw,
who played really well for them. I mean, he wasn't Joe Johnson, but
it changed. Well. He was good for them, but it slowed their team down. Here's what I'll say. Oh, also, had he not started the process of selling, they were saying that Michael Jordan was going to make a statement.
Oh, well, you don't need Jordan to do it. I mean, I tell you what, for all intents and purposes, he is basketball, right? So, like,
Jordan is he's the owner.
The most powerful person in basketball.
He's the most powerful owner in the NBA, and he might be the He might be the cash.
He's the most powerful person in the game, period, on all levels.
What about
everybody knows what that Jumpman logo looks like.
What about the influence?
I think LeBron coming out and saying something, but that was a very LeBron move. LeBron is a social justice person.
According to Bill Simmons,
it falls under that category of social justice because it's him picking on, hearsay at least, blacks, women, and I think even gays, right? There was something about the language that he used was inappropriate. It could be offensive to 3 different types of people.
He asked Earl Watson how come Draymond Green gets to say nigger on the court. He can't. He said
he's like, man, he's like, I make a ton of fucking money. Why can't I say it too?
No, but he said nigger. He didn't say N-word.
But would it have made a difference even if he said nigger? Like,
I'm just saying the fact that he said nigger or whatever. He didn't say how come he can say the N-word and I can't. Nah,
what if he said Negro?
What if he said Negra?
Just kind of combine the words like fucking Trunks and Gohan making go tank or some shit. Like, just combines it. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think he's making the right move. Man, you're rich as hell. He was already rich as hell, but
now he gets richer.
You'll move yourself up in the ranks on Forbes. You're not going to be disgraced. I promise you, Nobu's not going to not seat you in Malibu. Like, if you want to go, like, bro, you're going to be able to go. Like, it's going to be plenty of niggas that are going to want to fuck with you too, like, regardless of what it is that you do. So I think that all in all, it would be in his best interest to do it. PayPal was already trying to pull off the jerseys. And then at that point, then it was going to be, well, who supports it by putting their logo on the jersey. And then everybody comes after that company. They knew that that's suicide. So it just in general, it wasn't going to work. And so it's probably the right move. And he can go off in obscurity, kind of like Donald Sterling has. And that'd be the end of it. Nobody knew who he was anyways. Like, I didn't know who he was. If I walked past him on the street, I promise I wouldn't have known that was the owner of the Phoenix Suns. And so, he's not one of those recognizable owners. He's just a white man with money, and like he'll be okay, is what I'm saying. He lives in America, baby. Like, or he can go to Europe. Fuck, it don't matter. He's gonna be all right wherever he go. He can chill in Africa, man. Like, he can go to any country in Africa and he can chill.
And he's about to get more money.
Yeah.
How much do you think
you're gonna break the NBA record? You're gonna say that, man, I had the greatest return on investment of any NBA owner because he didn't buy that team for $1 billion. So, like, and even if he did buy it for $1 billion, which he didn't, you're talking about potentially a $3.5 to $4 billion increase ROI.
How much do you think it's going for? I think they're going for at least 4.
So I already said it. When somebody said 2.5, that's why I was like, I said 3.5 plus. So it could be, that to me, the minimum is really 3.5. I think it could go for 5 because it is in a large market. It's not like the Oklahoma City Thunder are getting sold. So, like, it's in a large, and they're good currently. They're actually good currently. They were the number 1 seed in the West. So, like, they're set up. They're set up to win right now. PayPal is a sponsor. It's in Phoenix. Phoenix is literally either 4th or 5th in population in the United States. It goes New York, LA, Chicago, and then it's either Houston or Phoenix. That's 4th in population.
And Phoenix is growing.
People get Phoenix to retire.
Bunch of retired rich people. You're an hour flight from LA, so you can still tap into LA money.
You're a 45-minute flight from Vegas.
You're an hour and a half flight from the Bay. And there's just a lot of money in Phoenix.
Cabo's right there.
That's where OBJ's at during the summer. And he's gonna get, the team's gonna go for close to 4 or 5, I think. He only owns, I think, 35%, but he's the figurehead, and he could force everyone to sell when he sells. If I'm him, I'm petty and I'm making everybody sell just because.
Well, because at that point, then it's going to be one of those things of, even though they can't indicate any of the other owners, at the end of the day, if they said he only owned 35% anyway, so if that is in fact true and the rest is minority owned 65%, he still, even as the majority owner, is really the minority, because if there's a board of directors on there and it's every owner, all they can write is, all they can say is to impeach or to force the sale of his 35%, yay. Anyone that says nay, and then he's like, nay. It doesn't matter. 65% want you out. They're really the majority anyways. If he doesn't own more than 50% of the team, it's a throw by Mitch.
I was listening to Bill Simmons talk about it and describe it, though. He has a level of power that it was weird. He just has much more clout than his percentage would tell you he has, if that makes sense.
He's the face. Whenever they have the owner meetings, he's the one there.
Yeah, I think he's like the managing partner or whatever.
What is he? More importantly, see, I haven't ever Googled him. Let's see, Robert. What is he known for? Like, how did he get his wealth? He's from Arizona.
Is he FNF?
It says known for Southwest Value Partners. So that makes me really, I'm curious. Does he own a piece of Southwest? Hold on. No, okay. That's something else. Southwest Value Partners is an American privately held real estate investment company. It is headquartered in San Diego with an office in Scottsdale.
Okay.
So he does real estate development. So,
yeah, he's a crook.
He started off. He founded the National Bank of Tucson. So he made a lot of money in Arizona. He's really known probably more there than anything. Similar to, obviously, like here, Arthur Blank. I mean, everybody knows Arthur Blank owns the Falcons, right? But before that, I mean, I guess it put his name in the spotlight when he bought the Falcons. But I'm sure that Arthur Blank was known around the city and the state because he's the founder of Home Depot. So, like, and he's a local guy, and it's a Georgia-based company, and it's literally the first. What would you consider Home Depot? I mean, warehouse tool, like.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's kind of like Lowe's, but not Lowe's.
But they were before. Home Depot was before Lowe's. Lowe's was second. Yeah, Home Depot has definitely been out longer than Lowe's.
No, I didn't know that, Haven.
I don't really know what that means.
You know, Cleveland Brown from the Cleveland Show?
Oh, okay. It's because the Browns game's on. Cleveland Brown. I guess it's because I have the stash. I'm not as fat as Cleveland Brown. Cleveland Brown's fat. I'm not fat.
Yeah. You don't mess with Loretta.
Yeah. Well, and then he got a new wife, right, on
the ghetto one with the fat ass.
Right.
I'm a Falcons fan since 08. Cool to be here. Well, we're a Falcons fan since the 90s.
Inception. Yeah.
Yes.
I came out wearing red and black. Literally.
Mr. 106 and Park is back.
Right.
All right, man. We're done talking basketball. Where do you want to go? What do you want to talk about? You want to?
Well, we already hit the Falcons first, so
let's do controversy. Let's go to Brett Favre.
It's a smart way to transition into football, right?
Yeah. So Brett Favre's a crook. Brett Favre, let's pen it like this, because Black social media is upset that the major sports networks aren't covering Brett Favre and this. This little tiff he's in, little channeling funds from welfare to support University of Southern Miss, where he attended and where his daughter was attending, to build a volleyball facility. But before we get there, think about how Brett Favre has been covered throughout his career, and then name a quarterback who shares our skin tone. And do you think that they would get that many mulligans? He was a druggie in Atlanta, so he ended up going to Green Bay.
Was he a druggie or was he an alcoholic? Because the way that I don't know why I'm about to say Glavin. Yeah, no, Glenville.
Drug.
The way that Glanville described it the way that they described the Falcons of that era, with him being the rookie, because that was the too legit to quit Falcons, but he was the backup, right? So, like, I think he's probably just a Southern boy. Obviously, Brett's popped a couple perks in his day. But
yeah, he liked to drink a lot.
He's gonna be out of the job soon.
He liked to
play hard all game.
He liked to drink a lot and he liked to pop pills. You just sound like him. You have a yellow shirt on, but yeah, he likes to drink a lot. He likes to pop pills. Then he goes to Green Bay. He's really good. Then when Green Bay is ending, he's retiring, then unretiring, to skip training camp, and then just show up and play. He goes to the Jets and has that debacle with the Jets employee. A little inappropriate behavior. You can look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about.
He wanted to get out of there. We all knew his goal was to go to Minnesota to begin with.
So you think inappropriate text messages?
Packers were never going to let him go there. Like,
But you think inappropriate text messages to a female staffer is okay? I mean, look what he got email.
no. But
Uh,
no, it was acceptable.
it's like, oh, it's just Brett. Just ignore it, right?
Well, we got to play to the errors. I mean,
Yeah.
look, I'm sure Frank Sinatra, I don't know. I can't speak, I guess, anyone in the Rat Pack for that.
Bro, I can speak for myself.
Doing a lot of wild shit in Las Vegas that nobody would deem okay to that.
I can speak for myself. There are some things
Smack
that
the girl on her ass, like he's like, "Go get me a drink, honey."
he probably said, "Go give me a drink, bitch."
Yeah, or yeah, right. Let's do the. I've got the edited version. You know,
look, there were things that I did in college, and I only speak for myself that were socially acceptable in that time of my life. That I look back now and go, "Wow, son, I'm happy you've grown up." That was wrong. That was wrong. But anyways, now he's apparently he took some money for a speech. I think it was like $1 million he took for a speech, but he didn't make the speech. And now he's working with the governor and some of the governor's staff, pretty much aid, to pretty much get $5 million rerouted from welfare to support the school to look like he made this grand donation, and it's crickets. So we can just say, hey, Brett Favre is wrong and he's a piece of shit for doing that because you're taking money away from poor people to help out your daughter's volleyball team. Like, dude, donate.
Now, look, I totally agree with that take. But then if you take a deeper look, there's nobody in welfare, not that I know of at least, that's taking millions of dollars. But there are plenty of people that abuse the welfare system. They've been doing it their whole entire life. Happens all the time. I mean, that it does happen all the time. And I'm sure that dog fighting happens all the time. Right? That's nothing new either. But like,
and I'm sure crab legs are given away to somebody by someone in the back, but he doesn't kill the cat.
Bigger than crab legs.
You know, $32 worth of crab legs.
Steamed Publix crab legs are great, by the way.
You said what now?
Steamed Publix crab legs. If you get they'll steam it in season and stuff.
I did.
You know that. Come on, you're from Georgia. You know that, right?
You know what? Now that you say it, yes, but I forgot.
They'll do it for you. It takes them like 30 minutes to do it, but
can you call it?
Can you call it in? Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to walk around the grocery store for 30 minutes or walk in and then go do something and come back. No. You can call it in. And they'll be waiting on you as soon as you get there.
Thanks.
You can. I'm telling you, man. My mom used to do it. And not to get too far in crab legs, because we're talking about Brett Favre, not Jameis Winston. You can do it. You can do it. I suggest it. Who's this that just got hurt, by the way?
Number 5, I think.
Looks like he might be important. If he's got a single digit number in the NFL, you've got to be an important guy.
Yeah. Why do we have the rules analyst on here? I'm tired of the rules analysts. They don't really provide as much as they should.
Who did Terry McCauley used to work for, though? I know he's not Fox. Fox is it Dean Burnett? No.
Dean Blandino used to work for one of them. You have Gene
Scarscore, Dean Blandino. But Terry McCauley's name sounds familiar too. I know they obviously who's an official, but like
I can't think of the Fox guy.
But where was he before Amazon? Is what I'm saying. Was he CBS?
Probably.
It wasn't Monday night because we would know. I don't even think they have a rules analyst for Monday night.
They don't need one. The rules analyst provides very little.
Well, they just simply confirm what we saw.
Right.
They give their opinion on it. They're like, if I was repping the game, this is what I would say.
Hey, let's stop being ESPN on this Brett Favre topic and talk about it, man. Why do you think he's not getting any media coverage?
For one, Brett Favre's been retired. What? Has he been retired 10 years yet? It's almost been a decade since Brett Favre's played a football game. So he's irrelevant from that perspective. 2, it's in the state of Mississippi, and I'm not trying to, no offense.
I think my internet connection is back. I can't hear shit he's saying. Come on, Albany.
Missed the football season. What's going on?
My Albany internet connection, because I couldn't hear you for a second.
No, well, point being, we're in the midst of football season. It's in Mississippi. No offense to anybody I know from Mississippi. He hasn't played in a long time. And what he did is, even though it's on a grander scale, it's very common to begin with, people taking from welfare. So, like, I think that's kind of why it's getting lost in the shuffle. It's not as big a topic. But at the end of the day, I mean, look. I mean, I don't even know. Like I said, we had to do a pre-prep. I knew what it was, the basis of it, but I didn't even know the in-depth nature of what exactly he did. I just knew that it was money, and I knew that the welfare stuff had came out well before this, like weeks ago that it came out. But then they connected it to this for the reason behind that.
Yeah, you know,
Brett not even in the spotlight like that either.
No, Brett Favre, he caught a little John Gruden type of stray. Like, you know, we weren't looking at you, but we found you while we were looking for this other stuff. But here's what I'll say about the Brett Favre thing. I think there's crickets on this because people like Brett Favre. Like, that's what when
he's John Madden's favorite person.
When you're liked by the media, they cover you differently. I listen to Colin Cowherd's show almost every day, and he's talked bad about Pete Carroll. He's talked bad about Nathaniel Hackett, and he's given Russell Wilson a pass for what's happened over the last couple of years, and specifically what's happened the last 2 weeks. And saying, well, I mean, what redeeming qualities does his coach have? He's Aaron Rodgers' drinking partner.
Hey, I'm sorry, but just because the game is on. Did anyone realize how fucking big the Steelers punter is?
Yeah, he's a fat fuck.
Oh my God, bro. He looks like, and he's black. He looks like Jared Lorenzo, but at punter. You remember Jared Lorenzo, the guy used to back up Eli Manning?
Yeah. The hefty lefty from Kentucky.
Yeah.
Number 22 in college.
I'm just shocked, I guess, looking at it. I'm like, man, that's a very big punter. And then he's black. I looked at his hand. I was like, damn, okay, he's a black guy too. It's a big dude.
Yeah, maybe
he's big as, I mean, look, man, he looks like he used to go out there and pancake people. I'm dead fucking serious. Look at that shit.
Nah, he's a big punter. He's a big punter. But you know, we'll close this out and start talking like ball. When they like you, they cover you differently, or they just don't cover you, and that's what it comes down to. Haven said, "Put him on the line." That's funny. We like you, Haven.
He looks like he could be on it.
We like Haven. Like, she's been with her man since 2008, and his whole family has the NFL team, so she picked the Falcons and stuck with us.
So you know Haven?
No, I'm just reading her in the comments. She's leaving the comments. Yeah, she's from Hawaii, by the way. Hey, Haven, I was born in Hawaii. Shout out. Haven't been back since '92, but yeah, I was born in Hawaii.
I've been to Oahu. If that counts for anything. And I don't know the name of the island. I've been to Maui too. Yeah.
I hear Maui's fun.
I like Oahu more. I like Honolulu and stuff more than Maui. First of all, Maui's an hour away from the airport. But then secondly, I don't know, there's a lot of just old rich white people. I don't know, it just wasn't my style.
That's your crowd? Oh yeah, you did. I forget, you used to detail your travels on Snapchat, and I remember that was one of the ones that by the way,
I would go to Honolulu before I went to Maui, honestly.
I had friends in Honolulu when I was in San Diego, and I didn't visit, and I wish I would have visited.
Wasted opportunity, friend.
Yeah, I was being cheap. Like, I don't want to spend this much on the flight, and I go, well, now I'm in Georgia.
like Maui is definitely more secluded. Like, you won't be around people like that, but I blame myself for staying at a uppity hotel. I stayed at a Ritz-Carlton in Maui.
Wow.
And I was there.
Money. I
was there with the woman, and funny enough, I actually saw her this weekend at the game. But it just I don't know. It was just more retired. It gave me a retired vibe, while Honolulu gave me more of a vibrant city. Obviously, they have a downtown, right? Like Maui doesn't have a downtown.
Ew.
but Honolulu does. And then, of course, but then you still have the beach. I don't know. Honolulu, I think it's better. And in my opinion, if you want to like go to Hawaii, obviously it's the first place everybody goes because it's Honolulu. That's like the first city anyone could. That and Maui are the first two cities people think of. But I don't know.
You know, me personally, if I'm going to a city, I'm ready to go downtown and get fucking hammered.
Yep. Well, and I'm mad that the NFL moved the Pro Bowl from there.
Yeah,
man.
So
I think you get better participation.
Who the fuck wants to go to Orlando?
I don't. Like, I mean, it's good for the kids, I guess, right? Because you can go to Disney, Epcot, all that stuff.
But Orlando is easy. It is easy to go to Orlando.
It is. Like, especially if you're in, I mean, it's easy for any NFL player that's making the Pro Bowl, even a rookie, right? On rookie money. You could be a 6th-round pick and still go to Hawaii and have a great time.
Right, but you don't think about it as much. You go, if I'm going to pay that much for a ticket, I might as well just go out of the country.
Facts.
Because I remember even living in San Diego, like a plane ticket to Honolulu was still like $500, like $500-600, you know. So if you're flying from New York, that's a pretty penny. Let's talk a little football. Where do you want to go? You want to recap week 2?
Let's start off with week 2, man. And it sucks. I didn't get to watch a lot of these games because I think, as I kind of had detailed in the group with you guys, I got to Los Angeles around 9 a.m. And so I didn't realize how close the Rams Stadium is to LAX. It's literally not even 4 miles.
You're right there.
Yeah, it's right there. So, of course, you know, I didn't anticipate to spend the night in Los Angeles. I did end up doing it. Great people I met, too. Shouts out to Ben and Taylor. I know they're not listening, but at the same time, shout outs to them. Great people. Met them, Falcons fans from Woodstock. He owns all the Cloud Nines here in Georgia and in Florida.
You say Woodstock?
He lives in Woodstock. Man, according to him, he bought T Grizzly's house. So T Grizzly had a house here. He bought it from
Woodstock?
Yeah, I know, right?
That's right by Cartersville.
I know it is. We can't drive to watch any NFL game. Yeah, I'd have to imagine it is in Hawaii.
Yeah, like nobody wants to go watch Hawaii play football in college.
I played Vanderbilt the other day. That was big. You got an SEC team. You got an SEC team in town.
All right. So, what games do you want to talk? You want to talk Chiefs Chargers? I mean, I think the Chargers fumbled the bag, but I mean, Justin Herbert got hurt. Patrick Mahomes.
Fuck last Thursday night's game. Let's go deeper into this. Let's talk about the Ravens collapse because I didn't get to see it, but I did. Obviously, I got to see kind of the highlights, and I got to see everything that transpired in that fourth quarter. And we start talking about, you know, that was one of our picks from last week too. Ravens 3.5. It looked great the entire game. I think the Ravens ran back the opening kick of the game. I mean, everything was set up for them to not only cover but won the game in general. And so it just, I didn't get to see the game. Like, I know that you guys, you were probably sitting in front of the TV, and y'all, if you didn't have the game on, because who was on Fox before the Falcons played?
Nobody.
Really, there was nothing for 1 o'clock.
Not at Albany. So I had Red Zone, and then I was watching the Colts and Jaguars on CBS.
That was the CBS 1 o'clock game.
Yeah,
I'm embarrassed for Matt Ryan.
Well, that was the game in Albany because up in Atlanta it was Patriots Steelers, but I'm closer to Jacksonville.
It's been a bigger fan base game at least. Well, okay, yeah, you're closer to Jackson. I was about to say, well, why? But that makes a ton of sense. I thought it was more of Matt Ryan plays for the Colts. No. Atlanta people might want to see this. But
no, I get Jacksonville Jaguars games on CBS in that 1 o'clock window.
What if the Falcons and Jags play on CBS at 1? It wouldn't be Falcons?
I hope they give us the Falcons. I mean, I hope.
They should.
I had Red Zone, and we never get Falcons on. Oh. Hey, Haven, where is your safe haven at? Where do you live? You're following along with us today. So yeah, it was a collapse, epic collapse. Mike McDonald. I'll tell you what, him and Harbaugh should have had a very long conversation. Then John should have called his less successful brother Jim. Said, "Hey man, what the fuck did you just send me? I know I had spent some time with him, but what the hell did you teach him down there? You teach him that losing shit that you like to do in big games."
I guess the biggest thing for me would have been they remembered last year that Thursday night game that they played and how they remember that Thursday night. I just saw you do the toast. I'm like, well, do I rise up or what?
Oh no, I just want to be a little extra and dramatic.
Well, we're over here picklebacking today, but
I figured as much.
That's why I got 2 cups. I don't want anyone to think I'm just I'm double fisting or something.
Oh shit! I got a bottle of Le Portier Shannon Sharp's cognac getting delivered this weekend.
Okay, you gonna give us a full body review?
Or? Absolutely. But anyways, yeah. Back to this game of epic collapse.
Yeah, epic collapse. Enough said. Tua just dominated the game, but if there's one thing that Baltimore has on their side for their epic collapse is that there were 2 other teams that did it too. And the Cleveland Browns are one of them, who are obviously currently playing the Steelers right now. Wow. 30-17 with under 2 minutes left and you lose in regulation. That's some real Falcon shit. I'm not going to lie.
And look, I know it's popular to come out and beat up on Nick Chubb for not getting down.
Sounds like the Todd Gurley touchdown against Detroit a couple of years ago.
I think it's a little bit different when
I didn't see it. What happened to where he blamed himself? Because clearly they were up, I'm guessing 23-17, and he scored.
Yes.
But if he went down, it would have been under 2 minutes and they had no more timeouts.
Correct.
Okay.
But you still got, fumble, snap, anything could happen. You're going up. He's putting them up 2 touchdowns. You
should be able to protect that in 2 minutes.
Right.
The only thing that you can do is let them drive the length of field with dink and dunk passes, and then they have to get an onside. And then after getting the onside, they still have to score a touchdown.
Exactly. And then a couple of things happen. They miss an extra point. They give up a huge play.
So it was 24-17. It wasn't 23-17. They just missed the extra point.
They missed the extra point, yeah.
The kicker should be kicking himself.
Yeah. And here's the thing. And this is not my original take. I think I heard it from someone who I listened to. Cousin Sal, I think, said it. He goes, I'm torn because as much as we want to say, hey, get down, these players have incentives. And they're paid based on incentives. And so you're telling this man to turn down yards and a touchdown that would put his team up by 2 touchdowns. You're going to blame it on him? No, play defense. Don't give up the big play. And hey, Amari Cooper, you're on the hands team. Use your fucking hands and catch the ball.
Do what you're paid to do.
Yeah, I'm sorry. When you're up by 13 points, it should be 14, but 13 points with 1:51 left, I'm not blaming a guy who took it from 7 to 13 points for not getting down. No, can't do it. I just can't.
Yeah, well, and apparently they had a players-only meeting about it, and there was a reason why a lot of people were kind of on Pittsburgh tonight. A, just because historically they own them, but then B, if you got a players-only meeting in week 2, it sounds a lot bigger than blowing 1 lead. That sounds like there could be, and I know Deshaun Watson's there, but it sounds like there might be more issues than that. And that's not the reason for the implosion, right? But just in general, it just sounds like there's a lot more to that story than what.
Well, maybe some of these guys weren't big on bringing Deshaun Watson in, and they're not happy with where the franchise is going, and not because they have these moral issues with Deshaun. It's like, oh, you run Baker out, which was smart. You get this man.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like to me like the team was on board with Baker anyway. So they knew they had to do something different at QB. But I'm sure that Jacoby's a very much a light guy.
But this team is so close, and then you bring in a guy that's going to miss 11 games, and not.
Are the Cleveland Browns really that close? If you examine the AFC, seriously, how close are they really? Even with Deshaun Watson, like
second round,
I think they're like an 11-win team with him.
Yeah.
But like outside of that, I mean, Kansas City's clearly shown that they're reloading. I don't put them over them. I don't put them over.
The Chargers impressed me because I think they're better than Kansas City.
Me too. And so they're not over them.
And I mean, watching that game, they showed me that they are better than Kansas City. I mean,
in their own division, the Bengals, even though they're 0-2, they still went to the Super Bowl last year, and they still do have the talent to turn it. Even though they're 0-2, they have the talent to turn that around. They can turn that around.
And Lamar Jackson is throwing the ball across the yard.
Yeah, I mean, look, and these are two teams in their division. Yeah. You know, let alone probably the worst team in their division that they're playing right now that they're down to at home. So there's a lot of different ways you can slice it up. Obviously, the Colts have not started off hot. I think Matt Ryan does get that thing turned around. They're going to win that division. Even if they're 10-7, they're going to win that division.
Hey,
all right, I'm sorry, 10-6-1.
Can I hop on the ledge? Can I hop on the ledge real quick?
Go ahead.
Matt Ryan is cooked. He's been cooked for 2 years, and he's the reason why the Falcons haven't been able to progress. I was trying to blame everything else in the organization and give Matt Ryan the benefit of the doubt. Matt Ryan is cooked, and the Jags win the AFC South.
Okay.
Am I going too far off? Am I going too far off the ledge right now?
This sounds like Lee's ladle, because it sounds like you've got a ladle and some really, really hot take fucking bowl. But I don't think that there are 2 division games to start, right? They had to come from behind to even tie Houston. Now they cut Rodrigo Blankenship because he did miss a kick that he should have made. But Matt Ryan did play terrible. We've got to see him have those games. He's had those games in Atlanta before. I'm trying to think, what is one of the more recent ones I can just absolutely remember where I was just like, man, somebody fucking his wife. Like, what's the problem? Like, it did seem like something was wrong with him. He's had these games before.
Once Matt feels the pass rush, he throws a pick or he just falls.
And Justice is in here, but me too. I went hard for Mans, but I had to admit he's a little washed. He might be a little washed. I'm not. Look, man, he's 37. He's 37 years old. Like I think that Tom Brady, LeBron James, these type of guys keep setting the standard of you can play this late and be great. And the thing is that I don't think that Matt Ryan is cooked yet. And maybe I also haven't sat down and watched, because we were at the Saints game when he played the first time, and then last week I was in LA, so I didn't get to watch the Colts. So I haven't actually got to watch him play as a Colt yet.
Bro,
but you got to look at it this way. Now, look, 24-0, no excuse. But basically, based on some of the stuff I've seen too, offensive line shot. All right, no, it's not shot. They're not performing, at least. They're not performing like they have been. Jonathan Taylor's numbers show that. They're not performing the way that they should. They did in week 1. They ran the ball pretty well in week 1. But, like, O-line didn't look good. Their best defensive player, the best middle linebacker in football, Darius Leonard, or Shaq Leonard, as he wants to be called, he hasn't played yet. His top receiver, who had 150 yards and a touchdown week 1, didn't play. Jaguars are a team full of nothing but first-round talent because they've been picking in the top 5 for fucking a decade. So I guess my thing is that eventually the Jaguars with a competent coach were going to be okay, especially in a home opener. Doesn't excuse Matt Ryan from not scoring any points. It doesn't excuse that. I'm not excusing Matt Ryan. I didn't watch the game, but what I can say is this. Let's see what he does on Sunday at their home opener. They opened up on the road with 2 games. Let's see what he does in his home opener. If he comes out and they go 1-1-1 and they beat Kansas City and Matt Ryan throws for 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Jonathan Taylor rushes for 130 with a touchdown, and they win the game 27-24, does anyone give Matt Ryan love for that win? Like, I'm just saying, is he yet if that's what happens?
They won't. But hey, question for you. You talk about Matt Ryan. Let's talk about who's on the hot seat right now. We're going to get back to some week week 2 recap, but
according to Jerry Jones, it's Dak Prescott. Motherfuckers win one game at home against the Bengals, and now, oh man, I love a quarterback controversy. He's a liar. He knows goddamn well. Let me tell you, the Cowboys don't have to lose a game. Dak Prescott starting as soon as he's healthy. And we know this is not a Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady ordeal. It's not what this is.
This is not a Dak Prescott, Tony Romo ordeal.
Yeah. We're even though Dak is now, this is the second time in 3 years where he's getting injured. So now you have to at least you can sleep with one eye open like CBS, according to Jay-Z, when it comes to something like this, because you kind of gotta keep a peek, you gotta keep a lookout for it. But no, that was a joke of a hot seat. Who's actually on the hot seat?
Mike McCarthy.
Well, Mike McCarthy's job is cooked unless they win
His job is cooked unless DQ keeps running the team the way he is.
Well, what it is Sean Payton's in line for that job, and we know that. But
imagine Sean Payton and DQ on that staff.
Boy, I'm trying to think. Hold on, hot seat in the NFL.
Frank Reich.
He didn't. The GM might be. If Matt Ryan doesn't succeed, the GM might be.
Nah, I don't.
Ron Rivera's on the hot seat.
Who?
They're 1-1, but Ron Rivera's on the hot seat. He is. If they don't make the playoffs, I think he gets fired. So, he's on the hot seat.
I thought Cliff was going to be on the hot seat, and then they pulled that game out their ass.
Lucky comeback.
I'm telling you.
Not lucky. No such thing as a lucky comeback.
That was a Kyler comeback because Cliff definitely didn't do it.
I'm trying to think. Hold on. Because, see, that's a damn good question. Lee. Hold on. I've literally got to dig deep and kind of look at this. Hold on. Let me look at it.
Belichick's on the hot seat because he has Matt.
No, get the fuck out of here. Bill Belichick, just like Greg Popovich, it doesn't matter what he does. He will leave as he wants. I can tell you who's on the hot seat in college already. Jeff Collins for Georgia Tech. Like, he's going to get fired this week. If UCF covers against Georgia Tech, he's getting fired this weekend. I promise. And I tell you what, and that's the bottom line because Parlay Pete says so. Like, he's going to get fired. If that shit happens, he's getting fucking fired. Hold on. Let me look at the NFL and look at.
Hey, while you're looking at it,
Robert Saleh stopped himself from potentially being on the hot seat by coming back and then beating them.
Hey, my boss is a Nebraska fan and a Nebraska alum. I almost got on our conference call today. It was like, hey, Scott Frost.
Yeah, that's because you're a dick. No, actually, let me give you who's on the hot seat. Who, if Detroit covers or if he plays as bad as he did on Monday night, Kirk Cousins is who's on the hot seat. He'll be a candidate to be traded this offseason. Maybe the Falcons will take him. You know he lives in Atlanta, right?
I didn't know that, but I'll take him.
Let's say that the Falcons win enough games and not be able to draft in the top 5.
Yeah, get Kirk.
We can't get one of those two guys or Will Anderson. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Falcons traded to get Kirk Cousins and then everybody complained and said, so we got a slightly younger Matt Ryan. That's what people would say. I know that's what people would say. And so,
you know what? The Steelers
he looked like hot dog, man. He looked like he was throwing that game to me.
Hey, speaking of another quarterback on Monday Night Football who's on the hot seat, Tannehill, boy.
Oh, he's finished. But I already had said it before they had even put Malik Willis in. I had already said it. I said Malik Willis is going to be the starter by week 6. As soon as they started getting blown, I was like, oh, Malik Willis is going to be the starter by week 6.
Hey, you know who got saved?
Who?
Kyle Shanahan got saved.
Oh, why? Because he actually had to play Jimmy?
Yeah, they're gonna win games now.
They might win that division. I'm not convinced on the Rams.
I'm not either. I've watched them 2 weeks in a row. Oh, Matt Rule, he's going to Nebraska.
Yes.
Matt Rule's going to Nebraska.
He's on the, but you know what? The weird part is, too, similar to the Falcons, you know that those are the only two teams in the NFC with no wins? It's the Panthers and Falcons, which not a surprise. I think a lot of people thought that those would be the two worst. Them in Seattle, those would be the 3 worst teams I'm talking about in the NFC. those would be the three worst teams in the NFC. Seattle, of course, gets the momentuming. Hey, we're going to be all right, even though we're going to suck this year. We beat Russ, though. They got that win. But those two teams, the Falcons and the Panthers, have both lost their opening games by less than 5 points. Now, ours are more impressive because we lost to two teams that, like I said, were top 5 in defense last season, in my opinion.
Hey, you know,
not being top 5 in defense being my opinion, but in my opinion, they're more impressive losses because they were good teams.
You know who else is on the hot seat?
Who?
Tom Brady, because his wife is fed up.
Yeah, he's on the hot seat at home. But
his wife is fed up. Hey, but in this week 2 recap, Jalen Hurts. Let me tell you, I remember we were doing a quarterback topic, and there's someone who is in Jalen Hurts camp. Let me act like I'm protecting sources and shit, right? Who I talk to on Instagram from time to time, and I asked him about Jalen. I was like, "Hey, I'm reading all this media mumbo jumbo. You work with him. Tell me what makes him, right? Like, what's gonna make this work? Because I think it's gonna work, but you work with him. Tell me what's gonna make it work." His response is he puts the work in. That pissed me off when I read. I go, "Come on, dog. You know I want more than that." Like,
Jalen Hurts puts the work in.
He puts to work. That's all he told me. I'm like, dog, can I get more, please? And then I watch him week 1. I watch highlights. I didn't watch the full game. Then I watched the full game on Monday night, and I go,
me too.
I said, "Oh,
they look better." I don't have to. My hate for seeing Josh happy about his football team. I don't hate because I love Josh, right? So like, I don't have a problem admitting that. I don't have a problem admitting that they look good. Honestly, I have no issue with admitting that the Eagles did look good. They look like a complete team on Monday night.
Bro,
but also, I can also talk. That's why I said Kirk Cousins is on the hot seat because, yeah, okay, y'all beat Green Bay week 1. Whoop-de-fucking-do. So did the Saints last year, and they didn't make the playoffs. So I don't think that him getting it done necessarily means against Green Bay, at least getting it done against Green Bay means anything when you look at him on prime time and these type of games are going on and nothing's fucking happening, man. It was poor football. He played poorly. I'll give the Eagles credit, but I also have to talk about how Kirk Cousins telegraphed every fucking pass, bro. They literally, it was a score. And at first I wanted to blame the Minnesota defense too. They were poor too. They were poor, but nobody scored in the second half. So the score was 0-0, 0-0 over the third and fourth quarter. So I thought it was poor Kirk Cousins to me, more than anything. That game should have been a lot closer if he played better.
But, and again, Jalen's never going to be a rhythm and timing passer like Tom Brady, like Drew Brees, like Tua Tagovailoa, right? He's never going to be that. But if he can consistently be who he was on Monday, sky's the limit, bro. Like
I don't think that's going to be the case. I get it. I think they play Jacksonville this week, correct? Let me see. They're okay. No, they have the Commanders, so they get Carson. I know Carson wants to give a.
He wants his get back. He's not going to get it.
Man, he's got to get his get back sex because he didn't get to play him as a Colt, right? So, this will be his first game against the Eagles, even albeit in DC. But big game because if you lose, you go down practically 2.5 games to start the season because they'll be 3-0 and you'll be 1-2, but they'll also have the tiebreaker. So you're basically down 2.5 games. You win the game, You're tied, but you have the tiebreaker. Big game for the Commanders. And then they get the Jaguars the next week and the Cardinals. Super duper favorable. And the Cowboys and the Steelers and the Texans and then the Commanders again. Then the Colts. The Eagles have got what appears to be a very light schedule to start the season.
Oh, God, yeah, bro. It's lighter than cotton.
But I tell you what, let's see. They're 2-0. So let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Up until the Colts. That's 8 games. If over these next 8 games, if they don't go at least 6-2, that would mean that they are 8-2. I feel like even if they're 7-3 or 6-4, then they're not the real deal. Because who on this list should they actually lose to based on what we've seen through 2 weeks? They should beat Washington because they're more talented. It's a division game, but they should beat them.
Where are they playing at?
It's in Washington. That stadium, look, I've never been to a stadium and seen a Falcons takeover like that anywhere but there. We literally were running that stadium that day. So they don't show up to games. Jacksonville, they got them at home. Why not? Well, I don't know why they wouldn't beat Jaguars at home. Arizona, it's at Arizona. They should beat Arizona. I mean, Arizona has talent, but they should beat them. They're not.
Arizona's not good. Did you hear? 2 weeks after Arizona, okay. 2 weeks.
They're a mediocre team. They're literally, to me, they're like a 500 team.
Week 1, Cliff says we got to practice better. Week 2, he says, yeah, Kyler started kind of just doing his thing. I wish he would have turned that on earlier. Hey, maybe Cliff, he should turn on some better play calls.
What a penis comment to make. I mean, but he's right. Right?
Well, Kyler had to wake up from the fog.
I'm saying he's right. Clearly, they didn't practice well in week 1. And then in week 2, he said Kyler just start. Basically, Kyler did what Pete wouldn't let Russ do. He's like, I gave him the keys to the kitchen, and I told him to whip up something real nice for the boys. And at the end of the day, Jameis Winston likes cooking them, right? He threw a W on the plate, man.
Hold on. How do the Bloods throw up Pyru so I can throw up a P for Jameis? He likes to throw up picks.
That was Tampa.
Yeah, their defense is fucking good.
It is good. It's very good. But we knew that. Tom Brady's got a stacked roster.
What from week 2 slate that I want to talk about? Like, where's my week 2?
Oh, okay. Well, we hit all 3 of the comebacks. We already hit the Falcons.
Hey, Russ.
Oh, Josh Norman went to Coastal Carolina?
Yeah.
We talked about Ike Taylor earlier. He's a Raging Cajun. They got the top 5 Sunbelt players of all time. They got DeMarcus Ware as number 1 at Troy. Makes sense.
Obviously.
Brandon Stokely was a hell of a slot receiver for Peyton. It was Peyton Manning, but still.
Who did you say?
Brandon Stokely.
Oh, yeah, he was nice for Peyton.
Falcons could get him in like fucking 3rd or 4th round.
Hey, can we talk about Russell trying to cook again and that shit tasting like ramen noodles with hot dogs cut up in them?
I didn't watch the game, but guess what? I hit a parlay because I took him second half money line and they won the game. So that's all I cared about. And he's my fantasy quarterback. So of course I want to see him put up gaudy numbers. But
Lee, you picked Russ to be your fantasy quarterback?
Well, what it is you stole Lamar Jackson, asshole. And what it is I knew that I should have drafted him in that pick because I picked him before you. And then you had the 2 in between. And I had a gut feeling you were going to take a quarterback. And I was just like, you know what? This might be too early for him too. But I think that you looked further. I know I should have drafted him because as soon as you did it, I said, God damn it. I said, he took my pick. I was definitely going to take him.
Because I know we're going to see a pick for forever. Hold on. Lamar's your backup. If Lamar's your backup, Haven, let me tell you how you can go to heaven. Start him.
Well, no, he wasn't going to be my back. No, I didn't draft Russ.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading the comments, but I'm not posting them.
Oh, you draft. Oh.
She said he's my backup. I said,
how many team league?
Huh?
How many teams are in that league if he's your
bro?
backup?
I don't understand her league.
Oh, they got him good.
Oh.
I got Coastal on the bet.
She played against Lamar and Tyreek. Yeah, you did get smoked.
I went against Nick Chubb, the Bills defense, Justin Herbert, and what's his name for Jacksonville, who had the guy that got overpaid.
I went against Nico, so you know how that went.
No, you got Josh this week. Well, I beat Nico the week before.
No, I'm saying I went against Nico. Yeah, I got Josh this week. I ain't gonna say my butthole's tight. Yeah, I know.
Well, no. I love it because you get me next week, and so I love it.
I gotta beat with you while I'm playing against you.
Oh yeah. Well, but here's the thing: if I win this week, and you beat Josh. First of all, Josh falls to 1 and 2, and he's kind of in a hole. And I think Josh might have justice the following week. So that'll be. We start talking about shit gets real interesting.
Here's what I don't like.
Shit's gonna start to get real fucking interesting if shit turns out a certain way.
Remember, this happened last year. We were together when we played against each other in fantasy, and I don't like that.
We're competitive people. It's nothing personal, but of course,
it just makes it creates a little bit of tension for the weekend because it's like, yeah, I want to kick your ass in fantasy. I know I have no
fucking shit though.
Well, I don't do that.
Well, no, right? Nobody's because come on, we don't control what the players do.
No, I don't talk shit because I'm not saying I'm afraid. I'm just respectful and because I can't control this stuff, I got to keep my mouth shut a little bit. I'll just wait until I talk shit in the off season.
Okay, so Cleveland's who's about to fuck me.
Why? Did you take?
I got the Steelers plus 7.5, and they down 9. So that's an issue.
How much?
Here, I'm sorry, Lee. I've got these games on, and I need to go back because now Coastal's got me covered. So I don't need to watch that anymore. Now I need to pay attention. What it is I didn't expect once the Browns went up 2 for the Steelers to just give them a touchdown, but clearly that's exactly what's happening. They just let them score. And so, well, here's the thing. The only 2 things I need, I had Coastal second half money and West Virginia second half money. West Virginia is covering by 17 in the second half. Coastal's covering by 7. So that would mean it would only be a push if Georgia State scores a touchdown. So I still hit there. And then I have Pittsburgh plus 7.5, and then I need the Dodgers money line, and that's it. And I've got 40 plus K on the way. Yep. So,
he accepted his suspension, and he's put out his apology.
Mm-hmm. He didn't really have much of a choice. he didn't have much of a choice. I'm going to go ahead now. I didn't want to do this, but I got to do this. We're going to go ahead and lay 1,200 on the Browns minus 8.5 because it doesn't matter as long as Pittsburgh scores. Again, even if it's a field goal, a safety, it doesn't matter how they score. They can even get you remember when Doug Flutie kicked a 1-point punt field goal? They're smoking it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Man on second and third.
Dang.
No points, though.
Chubb, 16, rushing for 105 yards. Oh, yeah, I'm getting demolished in that other league that I don't care about.
Oh, no, I have enough to throw the hedge on Arizona. So,
week 2. Is there week 2 you want to talk about? I think we're good here. Tennessee's not – Buffalo's the best team in the league.
Yes. I tell you what. And I don't know if you can type that up real quick, but let's do a overreaction or no.
All right, give me 1 second.
I feel like there's been a lot of overreactions in 2 weeks. But to start with the Bills, just because you've already threw them into the pot, that is not an overreaction. I think through 2 weeks, we can all – man, I'm going to be honest with you. 17
I think this is a segment we keep. I think we can work this in damn near every show. Overreaction
or not? Yeah, and we can do it. It doesn't even have to be. It could be college too. Just in general, any overreaction, even the May Joker thing. overreaction that he keeps on is
Yeah, Boston definitely overreacted.
But yeah, they are. But certainly, if we look at Buffalo, I don't think that it's an overreaction to why they were the favorite coming into this season to win the Super Bowl. I think that they're living up to the hype, LeBron James style, and yeah, man, I absolutely think that they are the team to beat this season.
Yeah,
I think that, like I told you, my Super Bowl prediction was Tampa and Buffalo. I think Tampa's going to have something to say because Tampa's offense hasn't looked good, and I don't know if Brady's personal life is what's going to fuck that up. And the injuries, of course, and now a suspension, maybe that type of stuff.
But they just got a new receiver.
Yeah, a guy that actually catches the ball, too.
Beasley, Cole Beasley. You don't see Beasley on the treesy. You feeds me.
They can't do nothing with Mitchell Trubisky. It's so sad.
But yeah,
they can't.
But Bills being the best team in the league, overreaction. I mean, it's not overreaction. No, that's a no.
Cincinnati is finished at 0-2. Overreaction or no?
I would say no because what they've put on film is pretty bad. I do see that they look better in the second half against Dallas, but that offensive line sucks, and Joe Burrow can't just keep getting his ass kicked.
But it's crazy. That's where they spent the money this offseason.
Well, it's the Browns.
Damn it, it sucks. I mean, he fucking sucks, man. Oh, I mean, what a
bro. Michael Lombardi.
Take it out there next. Just throw him out there now. Claypool looks upset. Mitch isn't the guy.
Mitch looks like Tony Romo.
Here, the game's over.
What was their point total for the game? 1 to 10.
Mitch looks like Tony Romo, but hey, Michael Lombardi, former NFL GM for the Browns. He worked with Bill Walsh. He worked with Bill Belichick. He worked with Al Davis. I care what Mike Lombardi has to say because he's just been around some of the best football minds.
He has a great football mind. I'm with you. I hear him all the time on they have him as a guest on 92.9. So when I listen to that, they bring him on. He's always spot on.
He is
truthful.
He said Mitchell Trubisky and Trey Lance should have been safeties, not quarterbacks. They're athletes who don't have a feel for the position. Huh?
So that's about as disrespectful. I mean, what Lamar being a running back might be a little bit more disrespectful than Bill Polian.
Well, the way Lombardi said it was, they were athletes, and somebody put them at quarterback because they were the best athletes, but they never developed a feel for the position. Like they don't have the instincts to play the position. And he's of the belief that you're born to be a quarterback or you're not. Like you just don't develop that feel that it takes to be a good quarterback. You can have all the skills, but just the feel, you just don't get that. And I mean, you look at Mitchell Trubisky, he's obviously.
Well, think about it. Safeties are quarterbacks of the defense.
Yeah.
Right? Technically.
Yeah.
Maybe not the leaders, but they're the quarterback of the defense.
Havy wants to put.
I don't see why not. You're down 9, and it might cause controversy, but it depends on how close Tomlin was to making that decision to begin with. I think. Now, obviously, I mean, I'm a bettor, so like I have it's a different feeling for why I want it to happen too. But I'm just looking at Trubisky, and this is a key moment, and it's down on the side. Well, it's on that side. It's literally on like the second drawer. But I think that I looked at his numbers last week. Like I said, I didn't watch any of the games because of the LA stuff. But like, I looked at the numbers. I was like, okay, they only lost by 3. I'm like, it was a winnable game, I guess. They beat Cincinnati week 1 in Cincinnati. So I'm like, okay, well, he played well enough to win. But, Cowherd actually had came out and said, he got on Instagram and had said, they're about to be cooked. They're like, without J.J. Watt, he's like, they're hoping that the defense plays well enough, and if they play well enough, they're just hoping he can protect the lead. He said, outside of that, he said, be expecting this team to fall off the face of the earth.
Well, and you force 5 turnovers, and you still go to overtime.
Right.
That's piss poor. Overreaction or no? Arthur Smith didn't want to draft Kyle Pitts.
Overreaction. I think that is who they wanted. First of all, we got to look at Arthur Smith's background. And first of all, he's a tight ends coach. Before he was the offensive coordinator, he was the tight ends coach. So that's an intimate position for him. That was his position. And Tennessee does use tight end. They used Delaney Walker. The Falcons actually have the other guy, Fisker. They use tight ends. And so I think that, and even last season, it was Hayden Hurst in him, right? So,
yep.
Yeah, look at Njoku just fighting his way on a 2nd and 8, and it should be 3rd and 2. Man, I'm so fucking cooked. I can't believe this. But I think that that's an overreaction. I don't think that we should be hesitant about Kyle Pitts. At the end of the day, to think that this is going to be his output the rest of the season, you're insane to think that he's going to be catching 2 balls, 19 yards, 2 balls, 23 yards. That's not going to be Kyle Pitts out. It's not his outlook. He's a 1,000-yard tight end. You draft him. He is a generational type of tight end based on what it is that we've seen. That's my belief. My belief is that he is as good as advertised. I think that they've got to get a little bit more creative, and I think the fact that Drake London is popping, like he's starting to pop already, we see that Drake London can be a good receiver in the NFL early. Like even through 2 games, he's been productive in both games. So I think that with the addition of him being taken serious, we need the run game to be more consistent. And I think that's going to open up the pass game, because then you've got to choose between a 6'5" wide receiver and a 6'5" tight end. Those are basically the 2 receivers on the field. Somebody's going to get some openings. Now, is Marcus going to make the throw will be the question. But
Marcus is going to get it on the street. He's not going to get it to your mailbox. You know, for those of you, for those who like have lived in apartment complexes, sometimes you get packages that get dropped off right at the door. And sometimes you get packages that you have to go to the leasing office to get. You still get it, and you still get it on time. It's just not the location you want. Marcus Mariota, a lot of his passes are the package you pick up from the leasing office, not the ones that are at your door. That's all.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, wow. What a terrible drop by Amari Cooper.
Yeah, it hit him right in the numbers. He looked like he threw that ball hard.
Yeah,
Can Pittsburgh get down and get me a field goal, and then Cleveland just run out clock the rest of the game? That's all I want. I mean, a touchdown would be great, actually. That's what I want. I want a Pittsburgh touchdown here. I get that. All bets are off. All I got to do is throw it on Arizona money line, and I'm sitting pretty. Either that or they're going to give me a cash out. One or the other. Yeah, I know. They're up 1-0.
You ready?
On the overreaction. No, I got one more at least on my end. And
okay, one more overreaction that we'll preview this week, because I ain't got much for college football because they keep putting these weak-ass slates out there for us.
Yeah. Well, and we'll get more into that with the picks. What a great punt. Mitchell Trubisky going 95 yards. Yeah, right. But overreaction or no, and I know that we touched on it, and you kind of actually did answer it. Overreaction or no, Matt Ryan is finished.
Overreaction.
Okay.
I that's when I go out to Lee's Ledge, I don't necessarily believe what I'm saying when I go on the ledge. That's why it's a ledge and not a topic.
Right. Well, it's so perfect how you put that, Lee's Ledge. You allege what's going on. We don't know if that's actually what's going on. You just allege it.
I like that.
Beautiful.
I mean, I don't think Matt Ryan is cooked. I just think that Matt Ryan does not have the appetite to get physically sacked. So if it's looking like he's going to get a sack, he's going to lay down.
He's going to have nightmares of the last 4 or 5 years, right?
Yeah, like he's just going to lay down. I think Matt Ryan's going to be fine. Go ahead. I think that they're going to pick it up. Now, I do believe that Jacksonville can win that division. but I think the Colts will.
This is kind of my reaction to it. I think it's an overreaction too. What we have to remember is, and this is no excuse for him, but Matt Ryan typically in the first year of a new offense has always kind of not been great. Kyle Shanahan the first year, we started 5-0. The offense was not the reason why. We started 5-0. I mean, he played well enough, I guess, right? We started 5-0. We finished 8-8. Next year, he won the MVP. Sark comes in. The defense really kind of led that team to the playoffs, but the offense played well enough, and you had to respect it. And that's why they went to the playoffs and had a chance to continue going. Then his second year under Sark, what did Matt do?
MVP
Same type of MVP numbers, even though it didn't get the respect. Mitchell Trubisky somehow made the Pro Bowl over Matt Ryan that year. But
he made the playoffs.
I digress. Well, he didn't have the stats regardless. I don't care if the Bears went to the playoffs. He didn't have the stats. So, like it was that big of a gap to where it was just like, really? Oh, that catch that's the best catch this season. It was the best catch this season. But
yeah, too bad they're losing.
Now, can they do some more of that shit right now? Because that's what I care about. I care about.
Oh, Haven likes the Mickey Ultra Organic Seltzers, Kiwi Lime. Yeah, it's the fucking best. DJ Khaled, we the best. Who we? Lil Baby's dropping an album next month.
God did. He did. God did.
Brian listened to that song in 3 weeks.
But God did regardless. And so
let me see what I got in my notes that I wanted to talk about from last week to make sure that I actually talked about it. Let's see.
Oh man, Mitch is such a bad fucking quarterback. No, he fucking didn't. And that's why I'm like, hey, man, what you're throwing ball? Hey,
before we get into the preview, can I talk about Lee's losers? I want to hit my losers this week.
Yeah, let's talk about Mitchell Trubisky because he gets to start the week off being. I don't even want to talk about him next Thursday. I want to talk about him right now.
Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, he's not one of Lee. Maybe he's not one of Lee's losers. He's one of my losers. God damn it! And I want to make an honorable mention.
Maybe Mitch is just a fucking loser. So my losers, these announcers and these one-liners that they're trying to get off. That's it.
Game over. I tell you what, game's not over. If the punter can punt the ball well enough, they can punt it, get it, and get in field goal range to make it a 6-point game, and then try the onside kick and that be it, and I still cover.
Bro,
I get my cover.
Mitchell Trubisky looks like just a not good version of Tony Romo. But no, so
I don't think that's disrespectful to Tony.
No, physically, his face looks like Tony Romo's face. Not a good punt. They're in field goal range.
He didn't even fair catch it, and nobody wanted to pop him. They got Benny Snell out there on special teams, bro. The Steelers are cooked. I can't wait to see these fucking losers. I tell you, and that's why I've already told you this. We're gonna bet. I'm betting the house the day the Steelers come to Atlanta. I'm betting the house because seriously, based on what you've seen through 2 weeks, I know we don't have a win, and that's what he'll say. And then if we do win the game, he's like, "You still don't have a Super Bowl" type shit. But seriously, based on the way that we look, don't you think that we could beat this team? Isn't this a win possibly?
Here's why
Pickett might be the starter by then.
Here's what scares me about that. I think most teams can guard Claypool. I think Claypool goes off on us.
Cooper Kupp, Michael Thomas, these are guys that are in the record books. Those are the only. I mean, who else went off on us? We're talking Cooper Kupp had 100 yards, but he's Cooper Kupp. We're talking Michael Thomas. Yeah, he's slant boy, and it was his first game back in almost 2 years, but he still also holds the NFL record for catches. So, I just think nobody. I mean, who else? I mean, Jarvis Landry did have a pretty good game, but
he had over 100.
But he couldn't guard both. I mean, he can't guard both of them. So,
Kirk Kirk and Al doesn't want to talk to Kirk. He's not even giving him eye contact. Al has no desire.
Somebody suggested Larry Fitzgerald should have been
there instead of Kirk. I mean,
have you heard Larry talk?
I haven't heard much of him, but I would rather hear him than Kirk Herbstreit. Herbie, keep it to the ABC game on Saturday night.
He's good on radio. I've just got to hear him on radio. Like during the Monday night games, before and after the game, they would have him and Tom Brady, for whatever reason, are the two people that they have on. Because 92.9 is owned by CBS Radio. They would have those two. Come on, dude, Hayward. Get them they got to go to the distance, but.
All right, let me get to my losers, damn it. Announced trying to get the one-liners off. The RG3 one that he tried to get off, Big Penix Energy. Mark Sanchez, he cleared out faster than you collect your search history. It's like, hey, man.
That was the Falcons game, right?
Yeah. Like, do you hear Troy saying shit like that during the game, or do you hear Troy talking ball? If Troy ain't doing it,
I hear Troy talking like this to Joe and telling him about how I just can't believe it, how they're wasting so much time here. I would be calling a timeout right now. That's what Troy would be saying about Nathaniel Hackett in the Bronx. That's what he's saying.
Yeah. Troy's actually talking about.
He's wasting more time than a guy at a bar trying to pick up a chick that doesn't want him. He's not using that vernacular.
No. Troy's talking football. He's talking ball. He's trying to make you better. So, hey guys, listen to more Troy and keep it pushing. Hey, funny thing. Aaron Rodgers, twice I've listened to Aaron Rodgers this week talking about different people. And he talked about Sunday Night Football, and he said something about Al Michaels not being there anymore, how much he liked Al. But twice he talked about Sunday Night Football, and he left out Chris Collinsworth. So Aaron Rodgers does not like Chris Collinsworth.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you look at a guy like such and such, he catches the ball, he runs the ball, he does everything that a football player should do if they're going to play in the NFL. Maybe they should get Lou Holtz on there. Then everybody could hit the. I just remember it's just how West Miles and how everybody else did, unless you won a national title. But Brian Kelly, he doesn't seem like he's fit to win a national title. And Boutte, he's going to be out again this week. I don't know what they're going to do. LSU, you got all the Cajun people. They're not going to want to get into it. But Notre Dame won their football game. If you saw, they'd be cow, but cow is still cow. It's And if Mitchell Trubisky can't complete a fucking pass on the sideline, it just looks like they're going to lose the game. They're not going to get the field goal range. Pierce going to lose the parlay. He's not going to make any money. And that's going to be a big issue with Pierce because Pierce needs his money. Pierce has got bills. Pierce got a baby. He can't do it.
I put the Bengals on there because they're not good. I put the Ravens on there because they let Tua throw for 400 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Yeah. Well, then don't say the Ravens. Say the Ravens D.
Ravens.
Well, they're in field goal range, damn near.
Go for our move.
A touchdown probably solidifies this shit for me because unless they let Cleveland score a touchdown, there's just not enough time.
I put Josh McDaniels on there.
Hold on. I don't want to speak too soon because Mitchell Trubisky will throw a pick. So,
or take a sack.
You see Big Isaac out there?
Vermouth.
Yeah, I threw Josh McDaniels as one of my losers because
that's because you're the.
I'm sorry, Josh McDaniels. You can't go 0-2 with that team and then talk about he did it.
No, he didn't say it.
His foot was on.
His foot was on the line.
His foot was on the line.
But McDaniels said the Raiders need to learn how to win. It's like, hey, dog.
You got your 2 feet in. But you know what? Why the fuck are they taking shots? Yeah, he's out. Good. All right. Stop doing that. You have to get a field goal anyways. Fucking kick the field goal. Please. please just kick the field goal. Like, please. You've got a timeout. You've got a 2-minute warning. You don't have to throw the ball every play. You already have a fucking incompetent quarterback. Like, run the fucking football. And I'm sorry, Lee. This is just very.
No, we're in the middle of the game.
I've got too much money on the line.
I hope Haven joins us next Thursday for the pod.
Me too. And honestly, Haven, I know you don't have an actual line via StreamYard. I don't know. Do they offer that? If so, maybe we should get a call-in line. First-time caller, long-time listener.
You know what? I didn't figure that out without giving out my note.
If you don't want to put your or you can do a Google number if you don't want to put your personal number out there.
Yeah, we should do that because I mean, look here. Haven has been commenting since 9:55.
I love it.
I fucking love it too. She's been with us for over an hour. Hope her man's okay. I hope he's watching with her. Damn it. Who else I got on my losers? Josh McDaniels is a fucking loser because you can't lose 2 games and then tell your team they got to learn how to win. You're not in New England anymore. Dorsey, Kansas.
Matt Ryan's got to be on your list for this week at least. It was rough. When I looked at the stat line, I was like, man. I'll tell you what, the Colts in whole. Let's not single out Matt Ryan. Jonathan Taylor had like 30 yards rushing. So like, or maybe that Colts O-line is the one that really deserves the blame. But
I'm gonna say the coach.
Okay, Frank Reich.
Frank Reich is gonna get a blue boot stuck up his ass because his owner is a wild card.
Well, the Matt Ryan thing doesn't work out. They'll just always call Andrew and see if he's still interested. I know he looked really frail on that college football telecast, but
that boy looked like he was 180. And my final loser of the week, Nate Hackett.
They won. I get it. You should be beating the Texans, but they were a 10-point favorite.
They called a timeout because they did not have a punt returner on the field.
Yeah, he's bad with management. It's Dan Quinn-esque. Like, Dan was like more of a time management. It was like that. I'll never forget that 49ers game when we were on the 2-yard line. It was 4th down, and it was under 2 minutes. We had 3 timeouts, but we were down like 5 or 4 or something, and we kicked a field goal, and we didn't get the ball back. And it was just kind of like, well, you're on the 2-yard line, so – and even if you've got the timeouts or you have 2 timeouts and you're on the right side of 2 minutes, don't you think that you could just get the ball back and go 50 to 60 yards? And
now, here's my thing. I understand that first-time head coach
better not turn the ball over. Hold on. I'm sorry, Lee.
Yeah, you're right. Let's see what we got. We got 3rd and 5.
Just don't turn it over, man, or don't get sacked. Throw it away.
All
right, cool. Kick the field goal. Browns get a first down. The game's over.
So,
right.
But here's the thing, right?
Oh man, hold on. I'm sorry. I need to load up on the Arizona Diamondbacks right now. I do. I'm serious because that's going to be this is my winning ticket now.
Okay.
Yeah, let me hold the fuck up because they need to kick a field goal.
I love.
Didn't he miss one earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't generally miss twice.
Yeah.
Flag? Who's it on?
You know what? I like Stefanski's salt and pepper.
That gives him a first down.
Full on dark stash.
Oh, man. So it gives him another chance to turn the ball over. 12 men on the field. So 5-yard penalty means first down. And now, I hate to say it, Pittsburgh's honestly in a position of where they can't waste clock, so they have to throw. So there is no running the ball. Why did this have to happen to me? Who's the extra man? Is it Isaac? Oh, it's 4th and 1. Whoa. Hold on. Well, why not just keep the field goal? Just keep the field goal.
Now look at that, coach. Is that gum or is that chaw?
Keep the field goal.
I feel like you don't put that much gum in your mouth. They have to be backer.
Mike, decline the penalty.
That's gum.
Yeah, it is gum. He
got a lot. He's got to be weaning off
the double bubble.
He's weaning off the backer.
Too.
Why are
hold
they
on. Hold on. So you kick the field goal and you make it.
Ooh, keep clapping when you talk. It reminds me of a bad bitch.
No, man. I want to make sense of this. He already made the field goal. So now we got to do this again. All right.
Well, at least he makes it.
All right. Well, look, man. There's too much on the line, and I want my ass too.
Hey,
I think LeBron said it best. He said, I want my damn respect too. And if I can get a Thursday night win, that just propels really Saturday and Sunday for me, and Monday. And fuck tomorrow. There's a lot of things that I can do with this, is what I'm saying. And so
let's talk week 3.
You think they'll kick an onside kick?
That shit, he only has one time out. Yeah.
Cleveland gets a first down. They won't have to. Cleveland's not going to kick the field goal. The only way that it fucks them is if like a big run is broken off and they score like that.
Mike Pereira for Fox. That's
now,
the guy. Mike Pereira. That's the name we were looking for. Mike Pereira.
Now this is what we really need, because I just wasted $1,200 on this bet. If the Steelers cover the 7.5 that I bet originally. So now that knocks me down a little more. What would be great is if I sat here and I sat tight and the Dodgers went on ahead and went up like 3-1. Because then I could really cash in.
You're not bet the exact same thing, so we both need it.
So you got the Steelers plus 7.5?
Same bet as you and the Dodgers, so I need it.
Good. So all right. So then either we're both winners or we're both losers.
Oh yeah, they got Amari Cooper away from the ball. Smart move the way he fucked it up last week.
We watched him already choke the game away, let them get that field goal.
What's upsetting is not taking advantage of West Virginia culture. Like,
let's see.
When I said earlier, I said West Virginia should beat them by a touchdown.
Honestly, I'd love the Steelers to get the ball.
Oh God, and it didn't.
Oh, it went out of bounds.
Because George Pickens.
Well, it's technically a flag on the Steelers because it goes out of bounds, even though the Browns touched it.
The Steelers helmet situation is really stupid. Shout out to Miller Forrestall, number 86 from the Browns. He's a tight end. He played at Alabama. He went to Cartersville High School. And he was a quarterback, and then Trevor Lawrence showed up, so he became a tight end, and it got him all the way to the NFL.
I tell you what, you want to know where actually I could get fucked?
In your bed?
Yep. With this being a penalty, I don't know if they'll let them re-kick it. But if the Steelers do get 3 straight start, are they going to say it's a false? I think they're saying it's a false start.
Well, who?
Hold on. I'm sorry, Lee. I know we're live.
No, you're good. It's first down, offsides on Pickens. And it's Pusha.
They have one timeout. Would give them enough time to give them the ball to where Cleveland will call a timeout. Cleveland will kick a field goal.
They're gonna run the ball.
They're in such a field position to where I know it would be constant, because what if he misses or
they're gonna run the ball.
Well, hopefully they just get a first down.
They're gonna run the clock.
The game's over.
Yeah, they're gonna run the clock out.
They should get a big coordination.
They're gonna run the clock out.
They're in. Well, come on, Jacoby.
40-40. It would give them they need to get a first down, is what I'm saying. Cleveland can low-key kick a field goal.
Juice not happy. We have not won't go for it on fourth down. We need a score. Yeah. That boy, Chubb, he don't like getting tackled.
Chubb from South Georgia. Where's he from? Cedartown or something?
That's not South Georgia. That's North Georgia.
No, it's Chubbville. They literally named the city after.
So Cedartown is About 30 minutes from me. We were in the same region
Hold on, Nick Chubb. Hold on.
when I
Nick
was in
Chubb.
high school.
Chuckville.
Yeah, that's what I said. They named the city after like his parents. But that's recently changed.
He's from Chuckville.
Yeah. No, Cedartown.
He from Cedartown.
That's what I thought. All right, look at me. Look at me knowing my Georgia football. But it is like Chubbville too, though, now.
Cedartown is one of them little country hood towns that you don't ever want to go to. Cause
Come on, please let them get it. Please. Because they're going to kick the field goal, bro, if they don't get the first down. Please, Nick.
Hey, Parlay, you want to hear something about Cedartown? People from Cedartown.
If they don't get the first down, Lee, I'm so fucked up.
You're not. They're fine. People from Cedartown would drive to Cartersville to go to the club.
Oh man, I'm sorry that we're eating up so much airtime. It's just anyone that's watching this game and that listens and knows what's going on.
I mean, yeah, we're
time out.
Oh, time out.
Not trying to score.
Come on,
they're gonna kick a field goal if they get stopped. They're in field goal range. That's the issue with onside kicks.
That's a big, long field.
No, it isn't. It's like not even 50. It's like 49, 48. It's a makeable field goal at home in a game that's wrapped up. He could miss it, but like
big field.
So right now, me and Wayne are looking about 50-50 because the Browns defense got me fucking 2 points. How do you hold the Steelers to 17 points and then your defense and fantasy gets you 2 points?
No turnovers.
Basically, I need to make a trade for fucking defense, and I have to give up a weapon in order to do it.
I got the Steelers, dude, and
I don't want either.
Who's my other dude? They got some good defenses.
Well, you know, I'm always open.
Yeah, he got it.
What was his knee down?
No, he fucking got it.
I hope so.
His knee's not down. He fucking got it.
I'm taking a shot at the
They're fucking up the call. They're fucking up the call, bro. They can't. They've got to look at this.
And Njoku said he got it, so he had to get it.
Where's the ball? Oh man, this is gonna be so tight.
First down.
Nah, it's gonna be tight.
They're calling first down.
Nah, it's tight. They're gonna get changed. Man, that shit is about to be so fucking tight. It's not even funny. That was a bad spot. Where he actually went down, he did have it. They're going to kick a field goal. They may go for it, but they're probably going to kick a field goal.
Why not just take a knee?
It's going to be so fucking tight.
First down. First down.
Give it to me. Give it to me. All right, hold on. Let me bet all my money real quick on hold on. All right.
You make that bet. We're gonna hit.
Yeah, then we can talk. We can talk because now it won't matter. I mean, whatever the Dodgers do is what they do. But sorry about that telecast.
Hey, look here, man. We're live.
We got a problem. So
hey, and Haven's rocking with us. She dropped first down in the comments.
Great. And now look at this. The Dodgers tied the game. There is no review. That was the review.
Says official review.
Oh my God, are we fucking serious? You gotta be kidding me.
Points, Dodgers.
I know they scored. I know. I see it. Plus 210 on the Diamondbacks money line. What are they reviewing? If anything,
like it went down.
No. If anything, the review is gonna prove it's not down yet. It's not down. First down. It's a first down. His knee never even hit the ground.
I can't see.
I didn't realize how old. Champ Bailey is, but he played at UGA with
But
Kirby.
they already had placed it, but well short. Even where the ball is there, it's a first down. Where the ball was where they honestly placed it. Good ball spot, because he clearly got it on live TV. He clearly.
I don't think it's enough evidence.
No, exactly. And then on live TV, you can't even. His knee's not even down there. Look, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
First down, the ball spot is honestly accurate because you have to do where it was in the air. And because he clearly got it when he was down.
I need these Dodger bets to heat up.
Well, I can't even fucking make the bet until look at that. I'm missing out. Diamondbacks were just plus 200.
Where are they now?
plus 175, but
So they must get them out right here.
I need my money.
You know, I'm tired of people posting their meals on social media when they make basic stuff like,
They
hey,
can't fucking cook.
Like grilled cheese.
like, hey, dog, you boiled rice and you sauteed some spinach. Who cares? I'll talk to this man.
Hey,
Justin.
basically, you made some water.
Right, bro. I was talking to Justin Saturday when I was getting ready to, and I grilled burgers, something simple, right? But we had some jalapeno stuffed burgers. We jazzed them up, and guess what we made? We made a garlic spinach aioli fucking drizzle to put on top of those bad boys. You know, we got a little creative in the kitchen.
Garlic spinach aioli.
Yeah.
There's nothing good to eat that's overweight, is it?
Oh yeah, with some sauteed onions and sauteed mushrooms too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we had a little fun with it. And that shit was fucking bomb. Y'all out here warming up some canned green beans and say, "Ooh, I chefed it."
Well, at that point, if they want us to be amazed by that, at least open up that can and go start out a bonfire and roast the shit and let it turn. And then we're like, okay, roasted canned green beans. Like,
They really be like,
don't give these son of the bitches a chance to get the ball back. The game is over. But you know what? Roger's making the call. Roger wants the game to go on. So does Jeff. Jeff's like, well, hold on now. That means that they're going to leave. The odds are going to leave the screen.
Yeah, Goodell could easily bet on this type of shit.
Hold on. Let's see.
All of these amazing plays be made.
sure.
They are going to take a field goal.
I'm off of Facebook, just YouTube. LO got off in 2019. I'm happier so because of it. Wouldn't be there.
Please
You know
go
what?
for it. Please
Hey,
go for it, Ken.
Hey, I'm going to talk to you for a little bit, Haven. Right?
Oh, please go.
It's too far.
Hold on, man. Keep
No,
the
you're
offense on.
good. You're good, Parlay Pete. I'm talking to Haven. Shout out to you for getting off of all the social media platforms. I don't have that discipline. I'm on Instagram all day, every day, talking to this guy.
But they might be trying to do the.
Hey, who's coming to the screen real quick?
They might be trying to get them. They might be trying to draw them off sides, man.
What up?
What's up, dog?
All right, so hold on. They get to run it down to 15.
Hold on. I got
They're gonna definitely run it down. Hold on. They're gonna call timeout. I bet money they kick a field goal.
I got mine too. Who's? You see me? Now you watching the game. Come on. Yep.
I'd actually get the first. I wouldn't even kick the field goal just because it could get blocked.
What's up, Lee?
Right.
No, but you know what I'm saying? I got my shit on too.
Attaboy. I see you.
They're running out the field goal unit. We're screwed.
It's a long field goal, dude.
Yeah, okay. I bet money it's not 50 plus.
Is he black?
Man, I hope this son of a bitch. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, because of this type of stuff that goes on, not only do I hope he misses, I hope they block it and run him back for a touchdown. And that he remembers this for the rest of his life. Because I'll remember it.
This is fucking scary.
No, it's not scary. What it is it's unrealistic. We're setting ourselves up for failure.
Bro, they got a returner back there on the kick. On the kick.
Bro, they don't even do pass interference calls anymore at the spot of the foul, correct? Oh, they're punting it.
They're punting. You're good. You're good.
He's going to run around and then punt the ball. Oh, my goodness. No, he's going to run around and punt the ball.
No, he punted it quick with his left foot. Yeah, that's the ball game. You don't care because you had -6.5, right?
I had +7.5 stealing. Let's go. All right, I'm about to bet all my money on the diamond. Well, hold on. Well, it doesn't matter. Well, no, it does matter because he could throw a pick six.
Yeah, you didn't pick it down bad. So
He's on the 3-yard line. He might get sacked too, and then that's 8. So, and it won't matter to them because they already lost the game. But then again, it should be a 3-man pass rush too, for what it's worth.
It will be.
You know what? I don't live in a world of shoulds and coulds. I live in a world of what happens,
Well, let me tell you something, Lee.
Where's I?
and that's where my politics shade.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm queer. Get used to it. All right, he completed the pass, but you know what?
It's game over.
We talk about
Get on the ball. They're going to score another touchdown. They scored a touchdown.
No fucking way, bro. No fucking way, bro. No fucking way.
so.
Hold on, time out, bro. No fucking way, bro. That just cost me my fucking bet, bro. No fucking way, man.
Hold on 1 second, Lee. I got something I need to put into the group.
That is so crazy, bro.
Drew, let me tell you something about how sorry your fucking team is. They can't even cover 7.5.
That is
Your team sucks so much dick, bro. They suck so much dick, dog. I can't wait to see your team fucking burn in eternity. You're headed for Falcons territory, my boy. Irrelevancy for the rest of your adult life. You get to actually view it, though, this time. See, all the championships came, and you weren't born, and then you got 2 of them, I guess, technically high school, kind of middle school. But I can't wait to see your team burn in irrelevancy for the rest of your adult life, because that's where you're headed. That's where you're headed.
Just can't win.
That's unbelievable. But you know what? That's why I literally said go for it, too. And I understood the punt. He could have ran around a little bit with that punt.
That's crazy, man.
No, what could have happened was they could realize the game was fucking over and just got tackled. I'm sorry, bro.
Well, at least I gave you fantasy D points.
I did get fantasy points, but I don't care. And I won a little money too. I did bet on. I threw some money on them to cover 8.5, so it did help that. But
I don't know jack shit.
I mean, shit, bro. I'm not happy either. That was $40,000 right there. All I needed was the Dodgers to win tonight, and they're tied. So
Haven loved the smack talking you're doing.
Yeah, well, and let me tell you something, Haven. I'm a passionate football fan, especially about the Falcons. But this individual that's a Steelers fan constantly talks about the Falcons. He's from Georgia. That's what makes it worse. He's actually from here, but he loves to talk shit about the Falcons. And now I get to watch his team on national TV lose me money. And that's why I shouldn't have bet on them, because I know who they are too.
And Jew wakes up to
I'm glad I didn't put that. I was literally going to put that bet in too. I got bet all the rest of the money I had in my account because I was like, well, it's the hedge. That's the official hedge. Yeah. So I'm glad I waited until that play was over.
This particular person we're talking about, he wakes up to hate the Falcons. But shout out to him because he did find the Food Connect right outside of your crib after the Falcons games. That was clutch. A little too much seasoning, but it was still clutch. All right, man. Let's close it. Let's close this out. Let's finally week 3 preview. Let me just reset. Let me just reset.
And then we can lead into the week 3 preview and do the NFL 6. I'm gonna look at real quick, but you can carry it on, and I'll give my six pack.
So I picked every game this year, and I'm 1-0 for week 3. And I'm looking at the slate. Let me tell you what, boy. College gives you a bad slate, but let's see what we got Chicago, Houston. The battle of the
great game.
That's going to be a snooze fest. We got Vegas versus Tennessee. Whew, the way they've been looking.
Well, that one's in my 6-pack. I'm gonna be honest. I see something here. It goes against everything that I bet on earlier in the year in terms of what I thought that division would look like. But McDaniel's going to McDaniel as far as I'm concerned now. So.
Well, listen to this, man. I got Kansas City versus Indy. And
that's in mine as well.
I won't touch it. I got Buffalo at Miami. I'm looking at these picks.
Well, these 3 is typically out of 6 and 6.
Well, no, so
your own.
So I pull my 3 out of your 6-pack based on what I think, right?
Okay.
I'm looking
at Falcon money line.
Huh?
How about Falcon Seattle? It's a pick 'em.
Yeah.
How about that? Well, I tell you what, that should tell you that if it was on a neutral field, the Falcons would be a favorite. Or if they were at home, they'd be favored.
We got Detroit, Minnesota. We got Baltimore, New England.
Tampa, Green Bay.
Yeah, that's what matters. Oh shit, we got the Rams going to Arizona to kick it with Kyler.
Honestly, bro, this is a great NFL slate this week.
All right, so instead of doing this like in depth ass fucking preview. Oh, your man's a Steelers fan? You know what? Ah, damn! I was about to call it Jew, but I forgot. I don't have the regular equipment here, so it's not gonna come in right. So are you ready for your 6-pack, or do I need to
I have my NFL 6-pack.
All right, let's get into Parlay Pete NFL 6-pack. Let me find something to write with and write on. I'm ready when you are.
Okay, let's bring it on. All right, we're going to start off with probably the game of the week. We got the Buffalo Bills at the Miami Dolphins. Give me the Buffalo Bills money line. I'll be very brief about this, but at the end of the day, I think that the Buffalo Bills are the team to beat, and until proven otherwise, don't bet against them. Certainly on the money line, just to take them straight up. We're going to take the Buffalo Bills on the money line, and no offense to Miami, a lot of good things going on there, it seems like, through 2 weeks, but at the same time, rookie head coach. Bill's been here, done that. They're ready to go.
Hey, hold on.
I think the game will be close.
Hey, hold on. No, push through them. Then we'll analyze each one. I forgot. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we got to do something for the clip then. Yeah, you got to retalk it.
All right. Yeah. So, hey, Parlay Pete, give me that 6-pack.
All right. We're going to run through them. Buffalo Bills at Miami Dolphins. Give me the Bills money line. We got the Cincinnati Bengals at the New York Jets. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals -6 on the spread. We got the Green Bay Packers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Give me over 42. We got the San Francisco 49ers at the Denver Broncos on Sunday Night Football. Let Russ cook, baby. Give me the Broncos money line at plus odds. We got the Raiders at the Tennessee Titans. I like under 45.5. Let's take the under. And then finally, my personal game of the week, because I'm personally betting people, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Indianapolis Colts. Give me the Colts money line. Matt Ryan, don't let me down.
All right. All right.
So there's our clip, right?
Yeah, no, that's a perfect clip. That's a full clip. That's a.
By the way, if you parlay it and you throw 100 on it, it's plus 59.73. So $100 will get you almost $6,000.
So look here. So we got the Bills on the money line. We got Cincy -6. We got Green Bay and Tampa Bay over 42 points. We got the 49ers at Denver. We got Denver on the money line.
Mm-hmm.
We got Raiders and Titans going under 45.5.
Yep.
And we're taking the Colts on the money line versus Kansas City at home.
Big dog at home, first home game for the Colts. I love it.
All right, so obviously you taking the Bills on the money line to most people are safe. How come you're not picking them to cover?
I think it could be a field goal game if Miami is who we think they might be, but the reality of it is that Buffalo is going to win the game because they are the team that we think that they are.
So how come you just wouldn't take the points?
Because the points aren't 3. So if they win by a field goal, you lose. So just take the guarantee they're going to win the game. That's why. Like the fuck. That's why.
Since he's not been looking great in the Jets, they won a game
of the year, baby.
The Jets, I mean, the Jets' weapons are flying high. Joe Flacco looking like he's back in Baltimore on a playoff run.
Big G Wilson. You got Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, you Do you think Cincinnati covers?
I do. They won't do win by a touchdown. Why not?
Green Bay and Tampa Bay.
I think Baltimore went in there, and I think Cincinnati's better than Baltimore.
I think you're wrong on that one, but
Well, that's because your preseason prediction was 14-3 for the Ravens. So, like, of course, you think I'm wrong. Like, you thought they would have the best record in the AFC and in the quarterback, which both are still mathematically possible and theoretically possible. It's not impossible that it can't happen.
Yeah, but that loss they took really hurt me. That hurt me because
it was one of the ones that you had as a win, I'm sure.
Yeah, and just the way they lost, they should have fucking won the game. But Tampa Bay's offense has struggled. They scored 20 points versus the Saints, and that came off of a Jameis Winston fourth quarter. They struggled to score points against Dallas as well. And then Green Bay, I mean, they scored points versus the Bears, but Minnesota, they weren't themselves. So do you really 42? So what you're telling me, like, we get to 20, 23, 20?
For
Green Bay and Tampa. I'm not picking on Tampa.
I'm sorry. I get that Green Bay had a good defense, and we've seen Tampa already this year have a good defense. I don't discount Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers playing football against each other. Both of those guys are capable of getting into the 20s, and if they're both capable of getting into the 20s, you get the over. It's Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers, guys. Seriously. No, we've really got to talk about this. Tom Brady had every passing statistic he led in the NFL last season, and Aaron Rodgers won the MVP. They're not going to score points. I tell you what, show me that they won't. I need to be proven wrong on that.
I'll say where you're really putting your balls in a barrel or in a wheelbarrow. It's just fucking 49ers over Denver money line. Denver showed me no reason to believe in them. Absolutely no reason. I think Russell's taken a step back based on what I've seen. And I would ride the 49ers till I can't no more, like I'm Lil Nas X. Now let me go look at my picks. Let me look at what my picks I made before the season started. Let's see. Week 3, right? What the fuck game am I looking for? Denver? Oh yeah, I picked San Francisco. Absolutely. James Garoppolo, first full week as a starter.
Well, I wasn't a full week, but sure.
He's gonna go full.
I don't know when. I didn't watch the game. I don't know when Trey Lance got hurt.
No, I'm saying this is gonna be his first full week. This is gonna be his first full week as a starter.
Hey, fuck, man.
He goes
last year. Hey,
20 for 27, 225 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and 49ers win.
He won by 20.
Raiders and Titans under 4. I have nothing for that. Colts money line. You know what? That's because you've bet that away from the market, so you're just going to double down on it, right?
What?
The Colts and
no, I honestly think that I think Shaq Leonard and Michael Pittman Jr. they're probably both going to play. That's what the injury report indicates. So they'll have their best defensive player. They'll have their best non-offensive weapon, not named James JT out there. And Matt Ryan has not played great. So I expect his first game in a dome in Indianapolis to be like many of the first games that we've got to see here in Atlanta, season openers, where Matt Ryan typically plays it very well. And I think that they're desperate for a win because starting 0-2-1 isn't ideal to win a division. And Kansas City isn't going undefeated, and maybe this is an easy win for them. I just expect if there's one team to be in on as an upset, as a big upset, especially at home, it's the Indianapolis Colts. Let's stop acting like the Colts haven't been a good football team before Matt Ryan got there. Even without the quarterbacks, they've been always a really solid team. Brissett led them to 8-8. Phillip Rivers went 11-5. Wentz went 9-8. I just kind of expect this to be the game where they say, well, we'll show you. We've got something to say. Hey. Like I tell you, like Andre 3000 said at the Source Awards in 95. Everybody always like to talk about Suge Knight and the videos and Puff Daddy getting up there, but nobody remembers that Andre 3000 always said, you know, all this other shit. He said, but the South got something to say. So I feel like that's going to be Matt Ryan. He's like, the AFC South got something to say. I think that they'll get a big win at home. I really do.
And here's the one thing about that. Matt Ryan played like shit. I think he's going to come back. Fire in his eyes. Going to play better. And I'm just not impressed by Kansas City. I listened today with someone talking about him, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was Greg Cosell. And he was talking about, hey, they're still getting like 11 yards per pass attempt, just like they were when Tyreek was there. But it's a different type of 11 yards. With Tyreek, that 11 yards per pass attempt could be a deep ball for 80.
Now it's more yak.
Yeah, it's yak.
Edwards Hilaire's catching it, getting a 3-yard, and then he's taking it 8.
And the thing is, I don't trust Edwards Hilaire in a close game to just run the ball. Like, same thing with the Rams, which is why we did so well against them. The Rams just couldn't run the fucking ball to close the game out because their running backs aren't good.
Right.
So, let me see. I'm looking at the 6-pack. I got one for my 3 that I know I'm going to ride with. And then we'll see. Are you ready for your college football 6-pack?
I am.
All right, let's get to.
Hold on. Let me pull it up. Hold on. I tell you what, like Russ says, let's ride.
What's his name? Jim Rome had a funny anti-let's ride. But let's ride, bro.
Let's die. Was that what he said? Let's die.
I forgot what it was. I'm gonna go back.
That was right, unless he just let's lose. Like, I mean, unless he did some shit like that.
Whatever it was good. I mean, it's Jim Rome. Come on now.
I had said this to Justice when I got there. I was like, let's rise, like let's rise up. But anywho, we are. I was okay. We'll improv. Let's get to this college football 6-pack. We'll start off with a game that most people probably won't touch. Connecticut at North Carolina State. They have the over-under at 49.5. I think NC State can score 49, and Connecticut should be able to get a field goal. Give me the over. I don't see why they wouldn't go over 49.5. We've got Baylor at Iowa State. We're going to ride with Baylor because Dave Aranda, to me, is a top 10 coach in college football, and I don't think that he gets the respect that he deserves. And they're an underdog. And Iowa State lost their top passer, their top rusher, and probably their top receiver.
But they have Matt Campbell.
Matt Campbell's there, but what does Matt Campbell know except for fucking up a $50,000 parlay for me last year, where his team ran up the score on senior night against TCU? But you know what? I digress. Fuck him. Anywho, that's why I'm going to bet against his bitch ass and give me Baylor on the money line with plus points. Next, we got another big 12 game. Kansas State at Oklahoma. Oklahoma more than proved their point. I didn't understand why they were an 11-point dog on the road against Nebraska, and they fucking won by 40-something points. We're going to go ahead and lay that hammer on Oklahoma minus 13. They're going to win by Boomer Sooner.
Boomer fucking Sooner.
They're going to win by 2 touchdowns. Kansas State lost last week. Give me goddamn Oklahoma by 2 touchdowns at home. They're going to win. They're going to win by 2 touchdowns. Next game, Minnesota at Michigan State. Boy, let me tell you something. If Mel Tucker drops this one, that man's not going to make it through a third of that $100 million contract. Give me Michigan State at home with Minnesota visiting. PJ Fleck. Talent is honestly, I mean, Michigan State should have better talent. They've actually been to a college football playoff game. You know, they got embarrassed by Bama here, but at the same time, Michigan State's actually been to a college football playoff game. Give me them at home. that was ranked number 11 that last week, but got dropped because they lost to Penix and a Washington program that's also been to the playoffs
energy
on the road that gets talent, like Washington gets talent. So give me them as a dog at home. Next, we're gonna stay
money line.
Yeah, money line because they're dogs. They're dogs. We
I'm
put
just
that
making-
in parentheses too. They're dogs.
I'm just making sure.
Then next, maybe my favorite bet of the week: USC at Oregon State -6. Give me USC. I don't see how they don't grease them. They've got the quarterback, wide receiver, and coach. And a lot of times that's what defines teams in the NFL and in college, unless you got a badass running back. Typically, if you got a fucking all-American type quarterback, all-American wide receiver, and a top 5 to 10 coach in college football, you win these type of games against Oregon State. They're not even Oregon. Like, come on. Like, for real. Is Oregon State better than Oregon? We saw what Georgia did to Oregon. Now, I know that's Georgia. It's not fair to compare Georgia to anyone. But, like, come on, man. Give me USC -6. And last but not least, a lot of people are going to be heated about this one, but I took them too because they're a dog. Let me get Notre Dame and North Carolina. I think that Freeman's got a lot to prove after those first 2 weeks. And they barely beat Cal, and North Carolina does put up points. But Notre Dame has always been more known for their defense than their offense to begin with. So my thought is I don't understand why this is almost a pick 'em. Notre Dame's a dog. They're plus 105. I don't understand why they're that big of a dog, but give me Notre Dame.
You know what, Parlay Pete? You like it? I fucking love it. I'm in love with the college football 6-pack. Let me tell you,
this is a good one. I've gone 4-2 2 straight weeks in college football. We've done terrible in the NFL. I'm not even gonna lie. The NFL has looked awful.
That's why
But college football has been really good the last 2 weeks. So
I don't have much pushback for you here. Like I could try to create some content to like push back on it, but we're getting too close to 3 hours, so I'm not gonna do that. So hey, Haven, thanks for coming through. You can't hear me now because you've already left. I left you in the comment letting you know thanks for coming through, but we appreciate it, Haven.
absolutely.
Haven came and rocked out.
Right?
We enjoyed it. But hey, let me talk about least 3, but I actually have to do something right because least 3 is like a halfway sponsor segment now.
Please 3.
All right, man. So least 3 is sponsored by my bookie, PG. Shout out to my bookie, PG. Not like the website, my bookie.
Oh, that's what I was. That's what.
No, like my actual bookie. My actual bookie.
Drop a site.
Bro.
It's not a sponsorship without that.
Right, but shout out to sharp42.com. If you're interested in betting at sharp42.com, respond in the comments, respond to my DMs and let me know, and I can get you hooked up with sharp42.com. We got to get that promo code up though. But anyways, least 3 sponsored by sharp42.com. Shout out to my guy PG out there at sharp42. So least 3. Here's what I got this week for you guys. I'm taking a Bills money line. I feel like that's just free money. You like USC -6? I love USC -6. And you know what? I might run up to USC -10 because of those
9.5.
Yes, 9.5 because
maybe 13.5. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
I just don't understand why.
If those boys get to cooking, Addison, Caleb Williams, like who gonna stop it?
Yep.
Not. Oregon State, they don't have the personnel to stop them. Okay. Lastly, you know what? I want to ride out with Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame has top 7 talent on their roster.
They're ranked 5-star.
I think Brian Freeman is learning how to coach as a head coach. He's learning. He's figuring things out. And you know what? I liked how Tommy Reese was talking to the quarterback last week. I love the fact that shit got leaked out to let him know that, hey, dude, you're not meeting our standards. You got to do fucking better.
Yeah, the OC, right? Up in the
Yeah.
booth. Basically, you're going to get me fucking fired.
But hey, one quick thing that I want to hit before we get out of college football and actually close up this podcast. Overreaction or no? Georgia is the new Alabama.
I'm going to take my biases out of this. We're going to say no for now because if they win the national championship again back to back this year, I think that it's not an overreaction. My true belief is that it's not an overreaction, but until they actually do put it on paper, like it's printed and like the ink is final, I don't want to do that to Georgia yet. Like you, I've been a fan my entire life. I mean, for sakes, when I had braces, my retainer was a Georgia retainer. It wasn't a Falcons retainer. I got UGA as my retainer. And so I don't want to put that onus on them yet. So I'm going to say
it's overreaction.
It is an overreaction now. As of today, it is. Now, interesting take on 92.9. Like I said, I listen to them a lot. You know, whenever you do your separate podcast, there's certain things that I'll listen to in the morning when I'm dropping my daughter off of school. But they had it's somebody. Man, I forgot who it was, but it was on FS1. And essentially their take was that this Georgia team is honestly deeper and better than last year's team in a sense of based on what we've seen from Alabama. I get it. Texas is the one game. Well, outside of Texas, Alabama hasn't played anyone. But the fact that Georgia did what they did to South Carolina, they scored a touchdown, a garbage time touchdown. In reality, if Georgia would have shut out South Carolina out too. And so that would be that they only gave up 3 points to Oregon, and that would be they would have allowed 1 point per game all year. That is true. And the thing is, with this Georgia team, what makes it so special is that there's so much distribution on the offensive side, and the defense is holding down the reputation that the defense had last season. I do think that Georgia's, but coming into the season, I kind of felt that way. I really did. I don't know why everybody doesn't think that because now we're getting into
Georgia.
We're getting into the recruiting classes that Kirby was number one in. Now these are the guys that are actually starting. These were the number one recruit guys. Like 3 years ago, Georgia had the number one recruiting class. 2 years ago, they had the number one recruiting class. So, the guys that are actually starting now were the number one recruiting class guys.
I think that Georgia has the potential to turn into an Alabama. I think the way Kirby's building a program, he's taking what Nick Saban taught him, and he's bringing it to a better city. Athens is better than Tuscaloosa because
you're close to Atlanta.
Exactly.
And then just Georgia.
Georgia is a better state than Alabama.
It's not the state of Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia's a better state than Alabama because guess what? He can get Quavo to show up. He can get Gucci Man to show up. He can get Lil Baby to show up. Like Trey Young to show up. Even though Trey Young is
Dominique Wilkins fucking went to Georgia.
Even though Trey Young's boomer fucking sooner.
Yeah.
Kirby can get Trey Young if he needs to see him. And so with that, I think we have the potential to become Alabama, but until we win a second championship, I don't want to hear it. Like, that's disrespectful to Nick Saban's run. So to me, it's an overreaction. It's an overreaction, not because it can't happen.
Yeah, not because the potential isn't clearly telling us that
Right.
is what it will be.
And for those who make that take, if you're right, good on you for making it. I'm just not comfortable making that type of take this early.
Better question. I know Alabama did go back to back in his run. They've done back to back. Who besides them has done back to back before that? Was it USC?
Yeah.
So,
and they shared
actual dynasties.
Exactly. Because I think for Georgia, you should say, is Georgia the new Clemson? Like
They got 2 and 3.
They got 2 and 3.
You want to know what the difference is? It's not even because of how Clemson looks today. I think that Georgia has, and you know this too, anyone that was watching Georgia with Mark Richt, Georgia always had the talent. They always had the talent. It was coaching. It was. Mark Richt was a good coach, man. Mark Richt was a good coach.
That's why I compared to Clemson, because Clemson had the talent. They just couldn't.
But to me, Georgia then with Mark Richt was Clemson.
Yeah.
They didn't win the national championships like Clemson, but Georgia was Clemson.
Yeah.
They were Clemson. They were. No.
And now we're the new iteration of Clemson.
Okay. Mark Richt's era.
Hey, we got 2 minutes. I got to pee, and we're almost through.
Here, we'll close it out. But Mark Richt's era, when Clemson was doing what they were doing, Clemson didn't even have the guys that they did. Once they got Deshaun Watson, they popped and won the national championship because Deshaun Watson's a fucking dog. Like, he's a dog.
Lord,
and he was in Gainesville, and I have no idea how Mark Richt didn't get him at Georgia. How did you let that slip? Like, I get it. I get Aaron Murray was there, but
listen to this. He let Blake Sims, who got to a college football playoff, Deshaun Watson. I get letting Blake go.
I'm not doing that to Blake like that. But it's. I mean, Blake didn't start till 5th year senior.
Yeah, I know. I'm just throwing
like
things.
Watt was getting true freshman year.
Right. No. I'm just putting it out there. He let Blake get out of the state.
Right. And they were, because CJ Spiller was the back. They were running the ball too. Like Clemson was running the ball.
Just hear me out. He let Blake leave the state. He let Deshaun leave the state. He let Trevor leave the state.
Well, you could put that. Actually, that's on. It's on Kirby, but
he got Trevor.
So what difference does it make? And Fields beat him.
He let Justin leave after a year. Like he didn't do that.
That's because he didn't know how to handle the quarterback situation. That's why this year he was like, I'm gonna make the safe call, which the safe call was on Fromm too, technically. But this was a safer call because Stetson actually did win the national championship. So,
yeah. But look here, I hope that we turn into Bama. I just don't want to call it yet because I'm a fan and I believe in fan karma. So I'm not gonna believe in anything until it happens as a fan, because 28-3 it's in my heart.
It lives with me forever. No hot take. Georgia wins the Natty this year. They are the new Bama.
Absolutely right. Hey, Parlay Pete, this was fun. I'm gonna cut the clips, and I'll see you in about a week.
Absolutely. I don't know. You didn't want to talk. I know you got to take a piss, but you didn't want to talk about the Florida stuff. We can do it tomorrow. It doesn't matter.
Florida.
We talked earlier. I said we'll say that for after the clip. Boink.
Oh, yeah, bro. We'll talk that next week.
Okay, that's fine.
We'll talk when I see you. I'll have the stuff saved, and I'll probably send you links before then. But yeah, we'll talk it next week.
Let's do it.
All right, dog.
All right, great show.
Hey, holla at you, Who's. Good seeing you. I'll see you next week, nigga.
Peace, brother.
Yep.
All right.